evening and welcome to the SHN Sports Georgetown Eagles pregame show. Joining me in tonight's broadcast will be on play-by-play Wally Harmon and on the sidelines David England. Gentlemen, welcome to this week's game. Last week a bit of a disappointment with the L against Belton, but we move forward and the coaches and players all seem to be really excited to get back on the field against Copperas Cove this week. So, Wally, your thoughts about last week's game?
You know, I thought it was a good start. The Battle of the Trenches went better than I expected. You had a very new offensive line, a defensive line. Coach Griffin had addressed that several times with us about graduating 9 seniors from the offensive line. And I thought the Battle of the Trenches was good. We had opportunities. We just had a couple of things go wrong. Like Coach Griffin said, it could have been a 21-point difference. But I thought the players responded well and got some good Friday Night Light experience on this youthful team. And so I think tonight they're going to respond. I see a lot better performance on the little things that will make a big difference in tonight's game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little more. I think we saw some hesitation in the first part of the game on some of the younger players. But I think this week we're going to see them go all out. And Dave, you know, we've talked about the youthfulness of this team, but especially the defensive line, offensive lines, they did pretty well last week.
They did. It was really neat to see how they, responded to their first time on Friday Night Lights. And, I was really impressed watching the game. I think a lot of it's attributed to the coaching staff at Georgetown. They have to reload every year and bring in a whole new group of seniors with all of the football teams that we have coming up through the program. But, for them to be in the game the entire time was exciting. Even though it was a close loss, I think that we were in the game the whole time, and that's exciting. Given that you're scheduling some tough opponents at the beginning of the year to get ready for district.
I know at the beginning of the season, talking to the coaches and even some of the players, the real concern was we had an offensive line coming back that had no returning starters. Mm-hmm. And, there's some seniors that got some playing time, but starting on Friday nights radically different. And last week against Belton, who really wanted to run the football, we held them to under 100 yards rushing on the defense. We gave up some plays on the offense, and I think the youthfulness in the defensive backfield showed, but holding Belton to, 76 yards rushing total, 67 some. I don't remember exactly, but well under 100 yards rushing was quite an accomplishment for the Eagles last week.
And that gives Trent McConnell, if the D-line is doing their job up front, Trent McConnell can sit back and do his job on the back end and orchestrate anything. And it's same on the offensive side of the ball. When that offensive line is playing so well, that gives your senior leader plenty of time to figure out where he's going to distribute the ball to his playmakers. So I think we're going to be really good as the season goes on.
And one encouraging thing, Dave, we talked with Coach Griffin at the coaches show on Wednesday night. The team came in and practiced hard this week. It wasn't a downer. They got over that. You hate to lose, and that's one thing he said. Nobody likes to lose. But they took it well, and they came out and had good practices this week. And so to see that response from an inexperienced group that didn't get a lot of starts, like you said, Kelly, to come back and fire out on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and even Darson Harmon, when we talked to him at the coaches show, the offense probably had their best practice on Wednesday. And so everybody was in that mindset. The good thing is you have the 2 senior leaders on both sides of the ball, in Darson Harmon at quarterback and in Trent McConnell in the defensive backfield. And so you've got to rely on these 2 guys to make sure that those younger, inexperienced guys, hey, it's done with. Let's go. And that's one thing about Darson Harmon that Coach Griffin's talked about. It's like almost to a fault. Like, okay, we made a couple turnovers. We lost the game. Time to move on. Let's go. And he has that mentality, and that experience is showing in his third year starting.
And then it's also nice when you don't have to. It's also nice when you don't have to stress about your special teams, or you have confidence in how your special teams is playing, and everything's can come together.
There's also some significance to like Darson said at the coaches show, that Wednesday practice being their best one, because Thursday is going to be a walkthrough, helmets only. And then Friday, you'll go over the game plan. But Wednesday is the significant practice in preparation for the game. And when you have your best one on Wednesday, that bodes pretty well for the upcoming game. Another thing that I talked to Coach about, and the fans will see whenever I show you Coach's interview here in just a little bit, last year, pre-snap penalties killed us in some really crucial situations. And those pre-snap penalties just kill. And with the younger team like Georgetown brings this year, you expect some of those, especially on the offensive line or the defensive line, guys jumping. But there was only one pre-snap penalty this past week, which is really good to see. So the discipline is a little better this year already than it was last year with those pre-snap penalties, and that's significant going forward.
Clean game.
Clean game is absolutely right. Also with the running game, we saw some really good stuff in the running game.
Yeah.
And, we got two really strong running backs, different kinds of running backs back there, but you got one big, strong running back and then another running back that's kind of shifty. But when it comes time for that contact, it's not going to be an easy tackle.
And a quarterback that is not afraid to lower his shoulder and run over defenders. And so you have a three-pronged attack there in that Andrew Petter and Devin Ross, and then you put in Darson Harmon, the quarterback, who's 6'3", 220. It's unreal if you think that quarterback's coming at you. We talked about that earlier in the week, and we watched that last week on the field. He could have gone out of bounds. He had the first down. No. Somebody's paying a price. And he lowered the shoulder, ran over him, and right in front of their own bench.
Right.
That sends that message.
And Darson talked about it in the coaches show. The coaches talked to him because his freshman year or his sophomore year when he started for the first time, he would have a tendency to run out of bounds when with that big body, coaches are like, look, we need to have yards. So he lowers that shoulder now and boy, that's fun to watch.
And you'd like to see Devin Ross maybe run a little bit, get his pad level down just a hair. He runs tall, and he's a very tall running back. But, boy, he packs a punch when he's running. I'd love to see him lower that shoulder just a little bit more. But, man, the opportunity for him to get that start last night, we talked about that last week on the broadcast. That man was that kid was a backup to two good running backs. Mm-hmm. And he got some good cleanup work. Fourth quarter, he ran hard last year. But to get his first start and run the way he did, almost had 100 yards on his first night. But then you got that shifty, man. You're talking Andrew Petter is just fun to watch and to think that young man's a sophomore.
Yeah. Yeah, and Coach said that, we're going to enjoy watching him for this year and 2 more years after that. So to that end, that's a perfect segue. I got the opportunity to talk to Coach Griffin earlier in the week, and here's what he had to say about last week's game and then the upcoming game tonight against Copperas Cove. We welcome to the SHN Sports Georgetown Eagles pregame show head coach Chuck Griffin. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks, Kelly. Glad to be here.
Hey, so you always want to come out with the W. Give me your initial thoughts on the game.
Disappointed. I think any competitor is going to be disappointed when they don't win. I think we did some stuff good enough to win, but then we left a lot of points out there on the board that we should have converted and turned into something. So a lot of lessons to learn from this. We've got to grow in our youth here in the next couple of weeks, and that's going to be really important that we do that.
We had talked a little bit before the season really about the youth on this team. You've got an offensive line that has no returning starters on it, but the O-line did pretty well.
They really did. They kind of came on and did some good stuff and able to kind of really establish our run game in the second half and rush the ball for over 200 yards. So anytime you do that, that's really good stuff.
Yeah, rushing the ball for that much, that's your offensive line doing what they're supposed to do.
Yep.
So what'd you like the most? What concerns you the most?
Obviously being able to rush the ball for over 200 yards is really good. Our defensive front held them to just 84 yards rushing. That's really good. Those are 2 key stats that ought to put you in the win column right there. We had some issues. We dropped a touchdown, overthrew a touchdown, underthrew a touchdown. I had one called back. Those are just some mistakes of youth playing in a varsity football game and those kind of jitters and all that kind of stuff happening, kind of getting you, and then we gave up we gave up a couple of touchdowns there by just either misalignment one or really just kind of getting ourselves out of position a little bit. And again, that's youth. Kind of what I encourage our guys on is really I mean, we're close to converting a few of those plays and making that game really almost a blowout the other direction in our favor.
Right.
We've just got to, at the varsity level, we've got to make those kind of things happen.
So I think it was the first scoring drive in the second half when we were going right to left. The wind seemed to be a factor in that first half with some of the passing game, with Darson throwing into a pretty stiff wind. Seemed like the wind was doing some weird stuff on that field.
It was blowing. We'd had several lightning delays. The game was almost an hour late starting, and so there was a little bit of kind of downdrafts and stuff there. But we expect our guys to be able to play through that. And we've got to make those adjustments and be able to convert that.
So Darson, you got a senior leader back there at the quarterback position. Talk about his play Friday night.
A little hot and cold. Did some good stuff. Made some really good throws. Made some good decisions. Ran the ball well, but also missed on a few. And he's going to rise to that occasion. He's a senior leader, and he'll rise to that and lead his teammates and continue to connect on those and keep getting better.
So he did some really good stuff, and he made a couple of mistakes that you talked about. How, as an individual player, how well does he do at shaking those off?
Darson does really well shaking those off. His mentality really, sometimes as coach, it can be frustrating because those mentalities to shake it off really fast. sometimes you want to say, hey, I want it to hurt just a little bit, but he does a good job of those. He's able to move on and grow and get better.
So we got a Copperas Cove team coming up this week. Talk a little bit about what you expect to see out of Copperas Cove.
A really similar football team to Belton. They're probably going to be more athletic, than Belton. But probably going to get themselves out of position and some other stuff a little bit more maybe than Belton did. Belton was very senior heavy and had a great number of seniors, and it showed. Like, they knew what to do and how to do it, and they were always in the right spot. I think we'll find some areas of Cove where we can take advantage of. They're going to run the football. They got a pretty good back. They're going to run a lot of counter, a lot of power, some ISO inside. So we've got to be able to stop the run again like we did last week. And then offensively, they're athletic. They run a 4-2-5, so they got another guy down in the box that we've got to take care of in the running game. And then also we got to be able to get the ball out there to our guys on the perimeter and let them go win.
I did want to back up just a little bit. I know for the Belton game, you were a little bit concerned about that big tight end they've got, but you guys did a fairly good job of locking him up.
We did. He had a really big fourth down catch, in double coverage, and we were just kind of out of position a little bit, but he was double covered. He had a big catch there and had a big touchdown where he just kind of left us in the dust on an out route and caught a big touchdown late in the game too.
So Copperas Cove going to be a little bit run heavy, and I know you don't look down the road any, but Liberty Hill very run heavy. So y'all going to be defending the run these next 2 weeks.
Right, for sure. We are. And, and I think we did a good job of that last week. So we just got to continue to do that, continue to improve, and getting ready for district play.
We chatted a little bit about it up in the booth. And, this is what's so good about having 3 pre-district games and getting ready for a really tough district that's coming up. So I know there's a lot of planning that goes into that. I see sometimes teams will, I hate to use the phrase cupcakes, but sometimes teams will schedule teams that they know they'll walk out of there with a win. But
sure,
is there a distinct advantage with the district that we're in of playing 3 tough pre-district games?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you got to play good teams and get yourself ready. You got to be careful about who you play. You can't get yourself so beat up that you're not ready to play.
Right.
But at the same time, you got to get yourself in position to have some tough opponents, to find yourself in some tough spots and learn how to deal with those so that you're ready when it counts, when district play comes around.
So you had 4 sophomores start. Have you ever had 4 sophomores start for you at the varsity?
I don't think so. I can't remember a time in my career where I've had 4 sophomores start a game, and we sure did. We had 4 this year starting.
How'd they do for their first varsity game?
Pretty good. We got a couple of answers a time or two of, I don't know, coach. We got that a time or two, what you expect from a sophomore. But I think they held their own and did well. I think our offensive line guys They did really well. Just kind of gelling with the rest of the offensive line. And Andrew Petter is going to be a special player. We're going to talk about his name a lot over the next 3 years, and he played really well. Then Michael Valenta, he got better. Our defensive line was our unit of the week, and they were so much better from where they were just a week ago at Glenn. Just their pad level, what they were doing, and Valenta's part of that playing our nose. So he had a lot of improvement over just 1 week period.
One thing I noticed was, last year, you and I even talked about it. Some of the pre-snap penalties last year just were really frustrating. And I kind of expected to see more of that in this game with so many young guys and inexperienced guys playing, but you didn't have many of those.
We only had one. We only had one pre-snap penalty. We had a legal procedure, and it was a drive killer. It was 3rd and short, and really they jumped, and we should have gotten a free first down out of it. Instead, it backed us up to 3rd and 9, and we didn't convert. So it was a drive killer, but we really only had one pre-snap penalty.
So you got some players of the game this week?
We do. You got a lot of them. Our Code Blue player of the week on offense was Devin Ross, had 89 yards rushing. Just did a really good job. And then our defensive player of the week, our Payne, was Bryson Hanks, had 9 tackles and 1 sack on the game. So those are offensive, defensive players. Our special teams player was Carson Sauceda. He was, I guess 4 for 4 field goal wise, or 4 for 4 extra point wise, and then hit a 41-yard field goal was his career long. So that was good too.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up that running back. He was running behind 2 all-district running backs last year and got a few touches and showed some good stuff. And, boy, when he lowers those shoulder pads, he's a hoss.
He's a load, man. He's tough to bring down. He's falling forward, which we like.
Well, Coach, I appreciate your time. Looking forward to the game this week up in Copperas Cove. Any last thoughts on the upcoming week?
Nope. We'll see you guys there. Game time 7:00 in Copperas Cove, and we'll come early, wear blue, and be loud.
All right, Coach. We appreciate your time, folks. That's head coach Chuck Griffin. Coach, thank you for joining us so much. We always appreciate you making time for us here at SHN.
Hey, thanks, Kelly.
All right, folks. The pregame show will continue in just a few minutes. Stick with us.
I thank Coach Griffin for taking the time to talk to us. Guys, this coaching staff has always been so welcoming of us, and they let us be part of the team and the organization and just give us access whenever we want it. They're so accommodating, and that makes such a great difference for us being able to bring a broadcast and really highlight these kids. And so I want to thank Coach Griffin and all the coaches for their helping us out to make our broadcast as good as it can be. So we've got tonight the Copperas Cove Bulldawgs, another 6A opponent. They're in the same district with the Belton Tigers. They struggled last week, double-digit loss. Copperas Cove tonight is going to run the football. Last week they had less than 100 yards passing, 193 total yards last week, 130 of those on the ground. They lost some yardage on the ground because of quarterback sacks, which are counted as rushes, but if Georgetown can stop the run tonight, they got a pretty good chance of winning this ball game.
And that'll give, like Dave was saying, that's going to give Trent McConnell and those defensive backs a chance to kind of, especially Trent, with that leadership and that experience back there in the defensive backfield, to kind of float around. Then you get to where they hesitate to run. They want to put the ball up in the air. If the defensive line, the linebackers are controlling that, we're getting multiple hats to the ball, putting that pressure on the run game, and it forces them to pass. Trent McConnell could have a field day tonight here in Copperas Cove.
Yeah, Wally, I agree with you. If we can, shut down the run at the line and do some different things up there and really shut down their running game, Trent's going to have a great game rushing up, and when he sees it's run. He's going to run up and take care of that. But I just think both teams are also kind of hungry for a bounce back game tonight. Both teams want to get the first W on the season. Copperas Cove is probably pretty angry about their loss to Stony Point, and they're at home. And so this is a tall order for Georgetown going into their house, and we beat them last year. So they got, they want to beat Georgetown because revenge the loss last year. They're at home, and they lost to Stony Point last week. So it's going to be an exciting game for those fans that come out and watch tonight on the stream. It's going to be fun.
You know, I'm looking to see how Copperas Cove responds as a team.
Yeah.
They didn't go lose at Stony Point. They were beat down at Stony Point. Stony Point put up 69 points on this team. How do they react? I mean, first week of the year, you come out and you are just driven into the ground by a Stony Point Tiger team on the road, and now you've got to come back home and play a team that you lost to last year, and you want that revenge. But how do these players react? So I think it'll be interesting to watch the demeanor during the warm-ups here in a few minutes, and as they're going through it now, getting ready for game time. How do they react? I mean, you're high school kids. You hate to lose. There's a difference between a 4-point game and a 69-27 loss. And so I'm interested to see how Copperas Cove reacts. We know how Georgetown's looked. We know how the coaches have told us they're ready. They came in hot and ready. What is Copperas Cove going to respond like?
If you look at Copperas Cove stats from last week, their running back, he's a junior, number 32, Chris Brown. He had 128 all-purpose yards last week. So when you put 193, 197 yards, I think 193 yards total on the board, and 120 of those come from one player, well, that helps Georgetown know who they got to focus on. You find number 32 and you put him on the ground, and that's going to be the challenge tonight, especially for that youngish defensive line and the linebackers in containing him. And you contain him and you take away their game plan, force them to throw the football, which they're not comfortable doing, and you win this football game.
And that's going to be a challenge. This Georgetown team lost a linebacker this week, probably not going to be playing. He's been out with an illness. And so they pulled up Landry Leggett. He'll be suiting out with a varsity tonight. And so it'll be a challenge for the linebacking core. Week one, you had a great response from them. We had a lot of plays that came in where the linebackers were cutting them off. Dave was calling them out. I mean, immediately it was just amazing to see the way the linebackers were not letting things stretch outside, turning it back in, making tackles. And now you have one of your starters not going to be in there tonight at linebacker, and you're pulling up Landry Leggett. And so youthfulness comes into play again.
However, one note on that. We've got our third and final Leggett joining the Eagles, and they've got a family legacy. Landry Leggett is bigger than Caden or his older brother. He's huge. And I've watched video on him from some of the games from practice and this year. When he hits hard. It's almost like his a gauge, 18, just lay in the wood. So that's kind of cool bringing him up, and that nobody else has really seen any film on him. And fans, watch that young Leggett tonight. I'm super excited to see him come up to varsity and step in. And again, that speaks to all of the football teams that we have in the depth. But a Leggett coming up is not a bad solution.
Folks, kickoff is right around the corner for tonight's game against the Bulldogs and the Eagles. Wally, your final thoughts before we go to kickoff?
Stop the run. I think we stopped the run. The Eagles come away with a victory here on the road. So we'll have that challenge against the running back Brown. And then defensively, I'm excited to watch. We talk about Leggett. 39 is the jersey number you want to watch tonight, but he earned this. Coach Griffin expressed that, and he earned this opportunity. He was one of the players of the week on the scout team. And so it's going to be fun to watch, and I hope he steps up the linebacker core. That's going to be mine now to watch tonight. How our linebackers respond with a new addition, one of the starters out, how they come and play to help up in the box to stop that running game of Copperas Cove.
Dr. Dave, what's our weather tonight?
Oh, it's going to be about typical weather for early September. Those of you coming off the field dove hunting today, it's going to be like 91 degrees. At the kickoff, winds are south at about 7 miles an hour, and it'll cool off to about 81 degrees by the time you're headed to your vehicle after a victory for the Erie Eagles.
Well, folks, that's our pregame show. We appreciate you joining us. It's time for kickoff. Your Georgetown Eagles versus the Copperas Cove Bulldogs is right around the corner. Stick with us. We'll be back in a minute.
live from Bulldog Stadium here in Copperas Cove. Friday night football is upon us. I'm Wally Harmon alongside Kelly DeVoll and Dave England. We're live here at Copperas Cove High School, Bulldog Stadium, ready for game number two. Game one, unsuccessful at home, a tough loss at home last week against the Belton Tigers. We come into game two today on the road against a district, a foe of the Belton Tigers, a 6A team in the Copperas Cove Bulldawgs. Kelly, thoughts tonight? A chance to turn it around, get back to even in the record book, but on the road against a 6A team. What do the Eagles have to do?
Well, tonight is going to be about offensively, pretty much the same things they did last week. They had some success. The young offensive line did a really good job. The Eagles were able to rush for over 200 yards last week. They need to do more of that. And then this week, the focus for the defense is really going to be on stopping that run. So the guys that are in the box, the defensive line, the linebackers are really going to have to step up and stop that run. If they can stop the Bulldogs' run game, then Georgetown's got a really good chance of coming out of here with a W tonight. The players are excited. The coaches are excited. And they're ready to get back on the field and prove something.
Our sideline reporter, Dave England, is going to be up in the booth with us tonight due to some mishap on all the gear coming with us on the trip, and I apologize for that. We love having Dave down on the sideline. Last week, I thought it was very beneficial having him right there at the action. The crowd sound was all just enjoyable, made the game even better. Dave's up here with us tonight. Dave, your thoughts? The Eagles, where's the battle tonight? What do they have to do to stop this Copperas Cove team?
Yeah, I think last week they were right in the game. I give the edge to our coaches coaching up this team every year. They've got a new incoming group of seniors coming in, and we just always have, talent at Georgetown. And I think this game, like Kelly talked about, if we can, stop their run, and that gives their pass game a hard time. I think that's going to be a key. And then as long as our offense just keeps putting points up and don't let anything get over our heads on the defensive side of the ball, it's going to be good.
Matt Morrow, your residential mortgage expert. Borrow from Morrow. Our family, your future, our focus. For your mortgage needs, remember Matt Morrow. Borrow from Morrow. For more information, visit borrowfrommorrow.com. NMLS 464148. Minuteman Press Georgetown is your one-stop print shop, from business cards to signage, and now turnkey mailing solutions for flyers, postcards, bulk mailing, and more. Minuteman Press Georgetown can help bring exposure to your business. For more information, visit mmptx.com. And Smoothie King at Wolf Ranch, blending goodness to fuel your greatness. So appreciative of all the sponsors that make this possible to bring you Georgetown Eagle football, along with the Georgetown Eagle Football Booster Club. And we will thank our sponsors multiple times tonight. Super appreciative of all of those sponsors. The Copperas Cove Bulldawgs coming in out of 6A Region 2 District number 12. 3 teams in their district with wins last week. The Belton Tigers, the Harker Heights Knights, and the Killeen Ellison Eagles. They all went 1-0. The Bryan Vikings, the Bulldogs here tonight, the Killeen Kangaroos, the Shoemaker Wolves, and the Temple Wildcats started 0-1. So Copperas Cove, like Georgetown, coming in with the thought of trying to even out their record at 1-1. They're at home. They're getting a 5A team. They should step on this 5A team. And so it'll be a challenge for them, wanting to get back to that same spot where the Eagles are wanting to get it to, back to 1-1.
Yeah, Copperas Cove has struggled some over the past couple of years. And last week they struggled a lot. They put 190, right around 190 yards total offense, and 130 of that came on the ground. 120 of that from one player. So if Georgetown can focus and key on that, Copperas Cove has some talent. They're just struggling right now, not really experienced, much like Georgetown. But Copperas Cove has struggled, so this is an opportunity for Georgetown to get a win tonight against the 6A ball club.
The Georgetown Eagles out of 5A, Division I, Region 3, District 11. Leander and Pflugerville starting into this week's play were the only teams with a win in Week 1. Anderson, Cedar Park, Georgetown, Hendrickson, Maynard, Weiss, all 0-1 after Week 1. But a couple things have leveled out as Leander lost last night, and Hendrickson went to 0-2, a surprise to say the least. Superintendent for Georgetown, Dr. Fred Brent, high school principal, Mr. Brian Johnson, athletic director, Jason Dean. our head coach, Chuck Griffin, and we are so appreciative. Chuck Griffin, so welcoming and supportive of everything, and so fun to get a hold to and just talk to. We've had multiple opportunities through the week to visit with him. Monday nights at the Booster Club meeting, on the Coaches Show Wednesday night, right before the game, you guys down on the field, and Coach Griffin was willing to stop and talk to us. I think we got a little interview quick from the sideline from talking to Coach Griffin before the game. Kelly?
Here we go. Yeah.
Welcome to the SHN pregame show. Coach Griffin. Coach, time to kick the ball again. Put that loss last week behind us and get after Cove. What are you looking for tonight?
You know, we got to come out of the gate and be ready to go tonight. We've got to do a great job stopping the run again this week. That'll be huge for us tonight. And we just got to keep connecting offensively. And if we'll do that, we're gonna come out with a win tonight.
Fans that are watching on SHN tonight are going to see some new uniforms. Those look sharp.
Yes, sir. We wore those, I think, just once last year. But, yeah, that's our second helmet. Looks great.
All right, Coach. What about on defense? What are you going to have to do on defense?
Yeah, like I said, we got to stop the run. They're a big power counter team. We're going to have to stop that and try to force them to throw the ball a little bit. And I think that'll help get us an advantage.
All right, Coach. Appreciate it. Good luck.
Hey, thanks, Kelly.
And so I think it's pretty cut and dry, guys. To stop the run, put the pressure then on the quarterback and the passing game of Copperas Cove, which they're not very adept to. They like to run the ball, but they struggled with that last week. They come up a 69-27 loss to the Stony Point Tigers. They want to run the ball. We have to stop it.
They do, and you didn't even have to look at Copperas Cove's stats to realize, because every conversation that any of us have had with Coach Griffin this week, he has reiterated that time and time again. We have to stop the run. So if they can stop the run, that's where their success will be tonight.
The Georgetown Eagles, blue and white and silver, are the school colors tonight in the impressive uniforms. They'll be wearing the black pants, white jerseys with blue numerals outlined in black, and the black mat helmets with the eagle flat wings on the side. And here they come through. The banner held up by the cheerleaders, the field crew. And welcome to the field by the Georgetown High School Georgettes, as the Eagles take the field all the way from the south end and they head to the north end zone, where they'll take a knee and say their prayers before the game as we wait for Copperas Cove to come out. Kelly, the starting lineups?
All right, the starting lineups tonight for Copperas Cove Bulldogs on offense. At right tackle, Riley Johnson, number 70, a senior. Tyrese Hale, number 68, is a senior who'll be at right guard. At center, Andrew Parker, number 50, he's a senior. The left guard will be Chris Garcia, number 52, a junior. Michael Uini, number 55, is a sophomore at left tackle. At quarterback, Shane Ritchie, number 7, he's a senior. Behind him in the backfield will be running backs Craig Brown, number 32, a junior, and Malcolm Roberts, number 5, a senior. Wyatt Nelson will be the Z receiver, number 3. He's a senior as well. The X receiver is Demetrius Pierce, number 18. He's a sophomore. And Caleb Newberry is the tight end, number 28. He's a senior. On defense for the Bulldogs, at defensive end, Terrell Tardy, number 72, a senior. Justin McCarroll, number 99, also a senior. And Zarek Triplett, the third senior on the defensive line, number 49. The Bandit is Alexander Patterson, number 6. He's a senior. Cornerback, Cater Cox, number 2, a senior. On the other side, the will linebacker is Kofu Tulinsru, number 33, a junior. And the other cornerback is Jalen Donnell, number 4, a senior. The free safety is Xavier Taclebon, number 15. He's a freshman. And the strong safety is Chandler Castillo, number 21, a senior. On offense for the Georgetown Eagles tonight, at right tackle, number 72, Ian Sanders, a sophomore. Number 52, Nick Fisher, is the right guard. He's a senior. Number 65, Broden Elliott, is a junior, and he's playing center. Number 50, Jacob Weisheimer, is the left guard. He's a sophomore. And number 78, Jeremiah Phillips, left tackle. Drayden Dickman, number 6, the junior wide receiver, is on one side of the field, and on the other side at the other wide receiver position, number 25, Marquise Dominguez. He's a junior. Number 22, Andrew Petter, is a slot receiver. He's a sophomore. Number 14, Hayden During, is a slot receiver. He's a senior. Running back, number 32, Devin Ross, is a senior. The fullback, Tyler Hawkins, number 16, he too is a senior. Number 8, Darson Herman, is our senior quarterback. And we will let the Star Spangled Banner play, and then we'll give you the starters on defense for the Eagles as soon as the national anthem is concluded.
As the colors are posted at the midfield stripe on the far side of the field. of Copperas Cove. We're going to mute our mics, turn on the field mic, and bring you the national anthem before tonight's ball game.
Protocol is to stand and remove your hats, gentlemen.
And more importantly than anything, an opportunity to thank all of our men and women in uniform here across the country and across the world serving our country. Personally, I have a son-in-law serving in the United States Army, and so I thank our service members, our first responders, that all that are fighting today's battles in and around our country and across the world for everything that they do. Kelly, back to the starting lineup, the defense for our Georgetown Eagles.
Your defenders tonight for the Eagles, number 15, Carson Guido is the end. He's a senior. At nose, number 43, Michael Valenta. He's a sophomore. And the bandit is Brandon Stovall, number 38, a junior. The outside linebacker is junior Ian Lewis, number 10. The Mike linebacker is senior Bryson Hanks. He's wearing number 3. The Sam linebacker is senior A.J. Bradshaw. He'll be wearing number 5 tonight. And the safety, number 18, Trent McConnell. He's on one side. He's a senior. And on the other side at safety is number 24, Gabriel DeNova. He's a junior. The corner is senior Baylor Alexander, number 11. And the other corner on the opposite side of the field from him is number 26, Colin Casey. He's a senior. On special teams tonight, the punter is senior number 48, Luke DeCaratry. I hope I'm getting that right. Number 37, Carson Sauceda is the kicker tonight. Number 36, Rex Lee is the long snapper. He's a senior. And the holder is number 4, Tucker Griffin. He's a junior. The punt returner and kick returner is number 25, Marquise Dominguez. He's a junior. And those are your starting lineups for tonight's ball game.
The Copperas Cove Bulldawgs, head coach and athletic director Jason Hammett, offensive coordinator Ethan Merrick, defensive coordinator Gary Carpenter. The superintendent for Copperas Cove is Dr. Joseph Burns, high school principal Dr. Jimmy Shuck, and the athletic coordinator, Monty Stevenson. The school colors, blue and gold, for the Copperas Cove Bulldogs tonight, wearing the gold pants, the gold helmets, and the blue jerseys with white numerals. They will be on the far sideline. We get set up tonight on the visitor sideline, which we enjoy being near our hometown crowd, the Georgetown Eagle crowd, and on the Eagle sideline. And I just love the uniforms we're bringing out. It's that new attitude, a good attitude tonight. Hey, we get to wear the unis that are kept pretty rare, and so a good opportunity for the Eagles tonight just to have a lot of things go right. It's time. It's time for these Eagles to break out, but they've got to start quick, like you, Coach said. It's got to be something responsive from immediate.
For all the folks that are watching on YouTube tonight, we appreciate you joining in. You're going to hear the Copperas Cove Band very well because it's kind of a weird setup. The Copperas Cove Band is on our side of the field playing towards their fans, so it's a little bit of a setup. So you will hear their band a lot. Their band is actually closer to the broadcast booth than the Georgetown band is, so that's the reason for that. But we went down on the field before the game, and we were talking to some of the players, and they're really excited to be out here on this field. They love the uniforms. They love putting that matte black helmet on. In this day and age of modern football with the uniform changes that come up, they love it, and they're excited to play tonight. So I'm looking forward to this ball game.
It'll be on an AstroTurf field, a big bulldog right in the middle. North and south end zones, both are blue with white lettering, both saying dogs. The coin flip in the middle, Copperas Cove will be receiving. and they will set up and receive from the south end of the field. They will be going left to right across the screen in your dial to open up first quarter of play. South going north. Sauceda as he tees it up, ready to kick it off for the Georgetown Eagles.
Dave, real quick, what's our weather?
It's a little warm, gentlemen. It's about 94 degrees. Heat index is 99. Humidity's 39%. Winds are south at about 11 miles an hour out of southeast. So winds kind of, you look at the goalposts and they're not really doing much, but the flags on the other side of the stadium are moving. So
Sauceda tees it up and gets ready to kick it off for the Eagles. Back deep, I see number 5, Malcolm Robertson. On the far side, number 22, Braden Brooks Smith for the Dogs. Sauceda calling out the signals to the Eagles. They all huddle up about the middle of the field. Now they'll spread out along the 35-yard line. The 3 kickers set up for the Eagles. Who's going to kick it and where do they kick it as the Copperas Cove Bulldawgs kind of hesitate on what direction to look for. They just keep their 5-man front at midfield. Kickoff readies, and it's going to be put into play on the near sideline, fielded there by Roberts. He comes to the right, and he's hit about the 26-yard line and dropped there. Maybe a 5 or 6 yard return. Good coverage by the special teams for the Eagles. The kick there was by number 81, Kelson King. And the Bulldogs will take over 1st and 10 from their own 26-yard line.
You don't want to take a whole lot from the opening kickoff, but number 29, Brendan Broad, 5'10", 170-pound senior defensive back. Boy, he did a great job of a form tackle like you teach in practice. Great job of stopping that for very little gain. So here we go, boys.
1st and 10 for the Bulldogs from the 27 is where they're going to spot the ball. So it'll be at the 27-yard line for the Bulldogs. In the shotgun formation, ball handed off immediately. Grabbed quickly there in the backfield by number 43. Valenta, and the runner gets about 3 yards. I believe it was number 22, Brooks Smith, there on the carry. He gets up to, let's see where they spot him, at the 30-yard line. So a gain of 3.
You can see the defensive game plan right there because there were 6 white jerseys with black helmets on the ball carrier whenever he went to the ground.
So it'll be 2nd and 7. The shotgun snap. Stand, pass out to the left side. In and out of the hands of the receiver. He had it for about a 5-yard gain if he makes that catch, and maybe some more. But it goes off of his hands. I believe it was number 18. Off of the hands of Pierce. Demetrius Pierce drops that one. So it'll be 3rd and 7 now.
With the focus on the run, you're going to see the Eagles stack the box up there, meaning they're going to have 7, 8 guys in the box. So that means the corners and the safeties are going to be out there on an island by themselves. Man-to-man coverage is going to be important, especially when they start sending that tight end out into the flat.
3rd and 7 from the 30. A roll out to the left by the quarterback, Richie. He's on the run. He's going to scramble, and he's tracked down and taken down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 1 there. Dave, you see who got that tackle there?
it's like number 23.
Is that Valenta again? It looked like Valenta over there on that tackle on the far side, but that's going to be only a 1-yard gain. It's going to be 4th down and 6.
This is how the Eagles defense started the game last week. If you remember, I think Belton had 3 3-and-outs to start the game. So the defense starts really strong in this game against the Bulldogs, holds them to 3, and now it looks like it's going to be a punt for the Bulldogs.
Back deep. Looks to be Dickman for the Eagles, about the 30-yard line. The snap back, the punt away, low-line driver. It'll bounce at the 38, and it's going to take a Bulldog bounce inside the 20, the 15, all the way down past the 10, the 9, and it's going to come to rest, it looks like, at the 6-yard line.
Turned out well.
The ball hit at the 38-yard line of Georgetown and rolls all the way down to the 7-yard line. The 21-yard roll on that, the bouncing roll. So the Eagles pin deep for their first possession. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 7-yard line, 10:23 left in the first quarter.
With that low line drive kick like that, Drayden couldn't decide whether he wanted to stay back and field it on a hop or run up on it and try to get it. The Sun's kind of playing some weird games on the field right now, and that turned out well for Copperas Cove.
So 1st and 10 from the 7 will be on the far side hash mark. Darson Harmon in shotgun, Ross behind him. Petter now in motion to the right side. Bacon handed off to Ross. He cuts back at the 5. He's tracked back, and he's going to drag a tackler forward to get back to the line of scrimmage. What an effort there by the running back, Ross. A stop by number 99, McCarroll. And it'll be 2nd and 10. Good job by Ross there to get back to the line of scrimmage.
the defensive line for Copperas Cove was able to penetrate, and Ross had to do a little stutter step, which stopped his momentum, and that he did good getting back to the line.
Ball handoff now on a sweep to 25, Dominguez. He gets up past the 10, the 12, up to about the 14-yard line. Let's see where they take him down. It's going to say at the 13. That'll be a gain of 6 yards, and that'll bring up now a third. And let's see here. They had him back at 3rd and 11. I had him at 2nd and 10. They get up to the 13, so it's going to be a game about 6. So it should be about 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4 for the Eagles from their own 13-yard line is where they mark them. Far side hash mark, 9:25 left in the first quarter. Darson Harmon in the shotgun, 1 receiver right, 3 left. He steps back 2 steps. He's pressured up the middle. Now he's going to have to scramble, dumps it off outside into the hands of number 16, up past the 25, 30, 35. And a first down for the Georgetown Eagles. A borrow from Morrow first down all the way up to the 38-yard line. That was to Daring. I thought it was 16. It was number 14. Into the hands of Daring for a first down.
Jacoby Frazier, number 8 for the Bulldogs, the junior linebacker, came up whenever Darson started to run the ball, which left the receiver wide open out in the flat, and Darson did a good job of just dumping it off.
1st and 10 from the 38, near side hash mark. Petter in motion to the right side. Snap back to Harmon. He's got to have a quick throw out to the left side of Dominguez. Tries to shake a receiver, and he's thrown out of bounds about the 44-yard line. Great play there. Dominguez almost shook his defensive back, number 9, McManamy, but he's dragged out of bounds about the 44-yard line. So it'll be a gain of about 7.
Those quick hits like that, that's going to suck the defensive backs up and potentially open something up downfield.
2nd and 4 from the 44-yard line. Hawkins in motion right. Ross offset to the right of Harmon. Snap back. Fake. Pass outside real quick. Petter spin move to avoid a tackle, and he'll get up past the 45 to about the 47-yard line. He'll be a yard short. He turns nothing into something there.
He did.
And it brings up a short 3rd and 1 for the Eagles.
Kevin Pontius, the linebacker on the left side, came up and he tackled air because Petter put that right foot on the ground and spun out of it. And he wound up with his shorts around his knees on that one.
Shotgun snap, 3rd and 1 from the 47-yard line. Man in motion. And now Harmon has it. He'll hand off to Petter. Quick up the middle, and he's going to dive forward right past the first down marker. It's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Eagles about the 49-yard line. Another borrow from Morrow, first down. And the drive continues for the Eagles. 2 third-down conversions in the first series. That's got to be a good sign for Coach Griffin.
We've been really interested in this young offensive line, and again, they start in this game pretty strong, being able to open some holes in there.
3 receivers left, 2 right. Quick pass at a Petter. He stops about the 45, shakes a man up to the 40, runs over 2 Bulldogs, and he gets up to the 39-yard line of Copperas Cove. And another borrow from Morrow, first down. No need for a third down conversion there as Petter did all the work after the completion and takes it down to the 39 of Copperas Cove.
We talked about it in the pregame show about how Petter is able to make guys miss and then at the end lower that shoulder and dole out some punishment. We've seen it several times already in this ballgame.
Petter to the left of Harmon. Now he'll go in motion right. Ross offset right from Harmon. He'll step back. He's looking to go deep, and he does. Dominguez, the receiver, gets the ball. He catches about the 15 to the 10-5. Touchdown, Georgetown Eagles. As the defender, McManamy, fell down. Harmon hits Dominguez in stride. And it's a 39-yard touchdown for the Eagles, and that's the way you want to do it. If that's not starting quick, Kelly, I don't know what is. 3 and out on defense, and you drive down in your first possession for a touchdown.
Darson stood in the pocket, stood strong because there was a defender coming around that right side, and he was 1 step away when Darson threw that ball, and he got hit. But the senior stood in there and took the hit and delivered the touchdown throw.
Extra point attempt brought to you by Minutemen Press. It's good. Carson Salceda puts it through, so the Eagles lead at 7-0 with 7:17 left in the first quarter. Quick timeout. Back with the kickoff. You're listening to Georgetown Eagle football on SHN Sports. Welcome back to Georgetown Eagle football. Another Georgetown touchdown here on the season. A Georgetown Eagle Football Booster Club scoring drive recap, 7 plays, 93 yards, capped off by a 39-yard touchdown pass from Darson Harmon to Marquise Dominguez. Dave, you can't script it any better.
No, what a great way to come out, have your first offensive series, and your defense is sitting on the bench resting, getting ready for this next one for Copperas Cove.
Kickoff comes this time. Kelson King puts it again down the left side. It'll be fielded about the 21-yard line up to the 25. Breaks it outside to the 30. Makes a couple miss, and now he's smashed out of bounds by, it looks like Moose got him there on the near sideline. But it's returned all the way up to the 38, maybe the 39-yard line of Copperas Cove. So they'll have good field position here on their second series of downs. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Make it the 39-yard line of Copperas Cove. They'll take over with 7 minutes, 11 seconds left here in the first quarter.
Boys, there's good news. We're only about 35, 40 minutes from having this sun out of our face. It's going to make it a lot easier to see the numbers. We're on the visitor side in the press box on the visitor side, and that sun's shining right in our face. So I'm excited the sun's going down.
1st and 10 from the 39. Snap back, quick handoff up the middle. The running back hits a pile and drives forward from the 40 up to about the 43, make it the 44-yard line. A gain of 5 for the Copperas Cove Bulldogs. Number 32, Craig Brown, the junior running back, with the carry. It'll be 2nd and 5 now for Copperas Cove from the 44-yard line.
You see on that play where Copperas Cove has had their success, that offensive line, they've got some of their own buffet killers in there that were able to push the defensive line back a little bit. Good gain on first down. 5 yards on first down, and you see the meat of their offense on that play.
6:35 left in the quarter. 1 receiver right, 2 left. Shotgun snap. Fake it off. Run pass option, and the quarterback keeps it up the middle. He cuts through the defense past midfield. 40. Cuts it outside to the 30. 25, 20, and that's going to come back as he scrambles all the way in for a touchdown. Shane Ritchie, the senior quarterback. The 2 penalties came down in the middle of the field to make it 1. I saw it fly from a distance. It looks like it's going to come back as the referee is standing in the middle of the field at the 35-yard line, and they're going to bring it back. It's going to be a holding call, I believe, on one of the wide receivers downfield for the Bulldogs. So the benefit there to the Eagles, if this is what happens, is both teams are coming back.
Well, and Richie's lucky he didn't get more laundry in the end zone, because when he got down there in the end zone, he spiked the ball. The referee went over and talked to him about it. You can't spike the football in high school or college football. And he went over and talked to him. Good job of keeping that in your pocket on that circumstance.
Yeah.
Give the young man a warning, but that good run's coming back. But it's still going to be a first down because it's going to be a spot foul.
Holding the call is against Copperas Cove.
Holding against the Bulldogs. And then a sideline warning also against Copperas Cove as well.
Might that have been the celebration?
It makes you think it was. He kept pushing back. I guess he kind of gave that. So we're going to get the hold. It'll bring it back to the 50-yard line, but it will be a 1st and 10 from midfield for the Bulldogs. Middle of the field, the ball will be snapped back to the quarterback, Ritchie. In the shotgun, quick pass out to the right to the 45-yard line to number 3. He spins around and gets up to the 40 of Georgetown. And that'll be a first down. They're going to mark him all the way up to the 39. An 11-yard gain there for the Bulldogs. And another first down.
Nice play call by the Copperas Cove offensive coordinator. Georgetown has that line stacked, so those quick passes out there in man-to-man coverage might be open. Georgetown tends to play about 4 to 6, 7, sometimes 7 yards off of the receiver. So those quick screens out there are going to be open.
That pass completed to the senior wide receiver, Wyatt Nelson. 1st and 10 from the 39. 5:55 left in the first quarter. Ritchie takes it. It should have been a false start there as the whole line moved except for the center. Ritchie scrambles to the left, up past the 35. He stutters there. Tries to stiff arm.
Yeah.
He threw a punch.
Yeah.
Now that referee, the sideline official didn't see it. It was right in front of him. And now the coach is, it looks like the Copperas Cove coach is talking to him about one of the defenders, his own quarterback. That's twice now he's been warned, and there goes the referee talking to him at the huddle. But it's going to be a 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line of, or I'm sorry, 2nd and 3 for the Copperas Cove Bulldogs. They'll be at the 32-yard line of Georgetown.
referees better get on that early in the game, because if it's already that chippy, then there's no telling what's going to happen later on if they don't get a handle on it right now.
Yeah.
2nd and 3 for the Bulldogs. Shotgun snap to Richie. He'll hand it off to the running back up to the 30. Scrambles pass, breaks a couple of tackles, and now he's out into the open. 15, 10, 5, and dragged down, but into the end zone for a touchdown. And now there will be another penalty on Copperas Cove as number 32 jumps up. The running back that scored the touchdown, that's going to be Craig Brown, and then stands over the Georgetown Eagle that was on the ground that took him to the ground.
Yeah.
So
It's
laundry
uncalled for.
on the field, and you're right. Something's got to be done to get a hold of it.
Yeah. Just discipline. You need discipline.
Yeah, and 2 flags hit the field on it.
So the touchdown will stand. The penalties both came after Brown made it into the end zone. So it's going to back up the extra point. I would assume Coach Griffin's going to take this on the kickoff, so they have to kick from about their 25-yard line.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I was watching Craig Brown go back to the sideline. He's the one that penalty is going to be called on. And not a single coach said a word to him. So
Touchdown is good.
So
Unsportsmanlike conduct called against Copperas Cove.
it'll be enforced on the kickoff. They're going to do the extra point from the regular spot, the 3-yard line. So the extra point will be attempted from the 10. So a 20-yard field goal attempt for extra point for Copperas Cove to try to even it up. 5:35 left here in the first quarter. And that's the running game that Coach Griffin was talking about. The extra point kick is up, and it is good. And we're tied at 7 apiece with 5:35 left here in quarter number 1.
this is one of those circumstances where the Georgetown coaches need to get to our players and tell them not to get wrapped up in all this garbage.
Right. Exactly.
They can't let other players on the other team drag them into their own personal foul penalties. So, and the referees really need to get a handle on this. The warnings have been given now. You just can't let this get out of control.
And it's all about discipline. It's got to be, like you were saying, Dave, and that's going to be the job of the Eagles to stay put for in their discipline and stay in their groove and do the right things and allow it to be on the other side of the field. That's the 3rd time we've seen something between from this Copperas Cove team in the actions of the quarterback on the play that was called back, and then that punch thrown on the far sideline. Still not sure how that didn't get called. And then Brown on the touchdown as he stood over the defender, A.J. Bradshaw, in the end zone. But a good run there by
great
you got to
run.
give it to
Yeah.
Mr. Brown.
They're number 22 shifty as well.
Yeah.
Craig Brown with a great run there
Yeah.
as he got 32 yards on the touchdown. And we're sitting at 7 apiece with 5:35 left here in quarter number 1.
And if you're the Copperas Cove coach, you're just like, hey, gentlemen, you just gave Georgetown a short field. Well, look what they did with the long field the last series.
Exactly. Georgetown drove 93 yards, scored their touchdown, a 61-yard drive for the Copperas Cove Bulldogs. A lot shorter field there, and they capitalized on that. And now they will be kicking off the penalty enforced, the unsportsmanlike penalty enforced.
Oh, no, thank you.
61 yards. So the 15-yard penalty going to come back to the 25-yard line. Copperas Cove will kick off from the far hash mark. So the Eagles set here to get in good field position. Dickman, and that is not Dominguez back to receive with Dickman. Want to see who's back for the Eagles. Maybe Petter?
Yeah, Petter.
Petter and Dickman back to receive. They're set up about the 15-yard line.
They know they're going to get a chance on this one.
Yeah.
I'd scoot up about 12 yards.
And I think they'll play it off as they're waiting with the wind. Once you get in the air, you can still see the flags on the far sideline blowing pretty good. The kick comes, and it's going to be short. Dickman's going to field it at the 25, brings it to the left side, to the near side, runs the middle of the field, breaks a tackle, splits it, and Dickman is on a foot race. The kicker, the only one back to try to cut him off. He cuts back, and he's dragged out at the 4-yard line. What a return for the junior Dickman from the 25-yard line down to the 4, and it's 1st and goal. It will be the Smoothie King red zone on 1st down for the Eagles to start this drive. Talk about field position.
Yeah.
Can't beat that one much better.
I said last week I want Dickman to get some opportunities to return kicks, and he just got one, and you saw his speed right there. 4.46 in the 40, and the junior wide receiver is just fast as lightning. We saw his speed last year. Now he's put on a little bit of weight as well. so he's able to shed some of those tackles a little bit easier, but we saw it right there, and now it's time to get nasty and let the big uglies up front push this defensive line back into that blue end zone and push this ball in the end zone. I'm going to guess number 8's going to follow his right guard.
5:23 left in the first quarter. First down snap. Hand off to Andrew Petter, and the sophomore takes it in for the Georgetown touchdown.
I'll take number 22 following his right guard. That'll work.
One play drive, 4 yards, last 7 seconds on the clock. The Georgetown Eagle Football Booster Club drive summary is short and sweet. One play, 4 yards, 7 seconds, and the Eagles are back in front. Sauceda sets up for the Minutemen press extra point kick from the 10-yard line. Griffin Tucker is set to hold. Snap back. Tucker hits the ball down. Kick is up from Sauceda. It is good. And the Georgetown Eagles lead it 14-7. I would say that's the way you respond.
That is the way you respond. And while that was taking place, I saw a couple of the defensive coaches over here on the sideline. Looked like they were having a prayer meeting or some other religious service, because I think somebody was trying to touch hearts on that bench.
The challenge has been issued to the defense that Mr. Craig Brown will be running the ball for the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go right here at the 5:16 mark and say it. I am cutting it to the Dogs. I love everything about this stadium. A beautiful stadium here in Copperas Cove. Beautiful field. Good crowd for both teams here.
And their hospitality, Wally.
Oh, absolutely.
Second to none.
Second to none. They've been great all week long, and we thank them for that over and over again. From accommodations in the booth to filled passes to rosters, to deep rosters, anything we needed, and they have responded even with good cold drinks here in the nice heated sun.
Hey, I want to say to our folks that are listening on YouTube, type into the chat and let us know where you're listening from. I saw somebody a little bit earlier is listening in from Bangs, Texas. And so we've got some familiar names online, so we appreciate you guys listening. Chris Verde listening, and I see Simply Akins listening. Frank Miranda's listening, my buddy Frank.
Kelson King gets it kicked off. Fielded about the 18-yard line by number 5, Roberts. He cuts to the left side, and he's going to be wide open down the far sideline, down past the 40, 35, 20, and he's going to take it to the house. A touchdown on the kickoff by number 5, Malcolm Roberts, the senior. Answers quickly for the Copperas Cove Dogs. That kickoff return, 82 yards for a touchdown. So put 2 stars on the paper there. The kickoff return by Drayton Dickman from the 25 down to the 4. The one-play drive for the touchdown for the Eagles. But then the return kickoff returned 82 yards by the Dogs to even it up. 5:04 left here in quarter number 1, and it's about to be a 14-14 ball game.
It's a good thing there's a track around this field, because I came for a football game, but it's turned into a track meet. Frank Miranda, at work. Another one of our law enforcement brothers.
Back for the extra point. The snap up. The kick is away, and it is no good. He misses it wide right. So we don't have a tie score. It's 14-13. Georgetown leads by 1.
Could that point be important later?
At the way this track meet is going, it could come down to 1 point as the field goal was missed by number 14, Kendrick Stewart, the junior kicker / defensive back. And we'll put a note by that one. 5:04 left here in the first quarter. 14-13, the Eagles over the Dogs. But I tell you what, I've seen some sprints now.
A couple of hurdles.
I tell you what, and you look back to the first drive for the Eagles, a 93-yard drive, methodical, only 7 plays, but you had a couple of big plays, the big touchdown pass to Dominguez for the 39-yard touchdown. But take that out. I mean, it's a good extended drive. And then all of a sudden, boom, 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 it's back and forth. 5-play drive for the Dogs. And then they come back with a great kickoff return by Dickman down to the 4-yard line, a 1-play drive. And then a kickoff return for a touchdown, the 82-yard return by Roberts. And now the Eagles back to receive another kick. Their third kick to receive here in the first quarter. We still got 5 minutes and 4 seconds to play.
Georgetown has almost as many yards on special teams as they do on offense. Copperas Cove has more yards on special teams than they do offense. I do want to say Simply Aiken is listening in from Louisiana, and a friend or family of A.J. Bradshaw. So,
and we do pray for all of
our
brethren and friends in Louisiana, and hoping they're recovering from Hurricane Ida.
Hope you guys didn't have a whole lot of damage. Simply Aikens and our little buddies in Louisiana, all your Texas brothers and sisters over here been praying for you guys.
The kickoff, a little pooch kick. Daring builds it at the 33-yard line, breaks it out to the near sideline to the 35, and he's run out of bounds there. A late hit out of bounds. A warning issue there as number 4 continued play. Got a late pop there, Donald on Daring. But the Eagles start with it. 1st and 10 at the 35, make it the 36-yard line.
How do you keep Drayton Dickman from scoring on the next kick? Kick it to Daring.
I am assuming we will not be kicking it to Roberts again as well. 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line. Eagles take over with 4 minutes, 57 seconds left here in quarter number 1. One receiver left, 2 right. Ross offset directly behind Harmon. He gets the snap, fakes the handoff, looks out to the right. Now he's going to scramble up the middle, up past 40, 45, 50. He's in a foot race now, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, switches to left hand, outruns a man, and he's going to step out of bounds as he's taken out about the 2-yard line, but he stepped out at the 7-yard line, and what a run there by senior quarterback Darson Harmon. And the Eagles have it 1st and goal inside the Smoothie King red zone. Another borrow for Morrow, 1st down.
This is going to be like an Austin FC game. They're going to have to call a timeout so everybody can go get water, an official timeout, a little break because of the heat. Let everybody go to the sidelines. Man, there are some guys going to be gassed after this game if this keeps up.
They're giving me a workout on this camera, back and forth, back and forth.
And you're doing a fantastic job, Doppler Dave camera guy.
Appreciate it.
1st and goal for the Eagles in the Smoothie King red zone. Darson Harmon in the shotgun. Ross to his right. He'll turn, hand it to Ross. Ross up past the 5-yard line, maybe to the 4. They're going to mark him down right at the 5, so it'll be a 2-yard gain on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 5. It's only the 2nd time I believe Ross has touched the ball.
Nice job by number 21, Gastelio or Gastillo. I hope I'm not mispronouncing that. He came up and Ross is a big guy, significantly bigger than the guy that tackled him, so he tackled his ankles and tackled his knees, and that's what you got to do on a big guy like that.
2nd and goal from the 5. Hand off to Ross, sweep to the right. He's going to get outside the line and into the end zone for a 5-yard touchdown run. Touchdown, Georgetown Eagles. And the Eagles go ahead now by 7, 20-13. A great job there by Ross. He took that one and went to the right side, gets a nice block there on the right end.
Thought that was cool. He gave big number 77. He came up there, gave him a little high jump celebration.
Yeah, that's because
giving some thanks to his line.
That's because, well, I'll say it after this kick.
The Minutemen press extra point kick is away, and it is good. Carson Sauceda knocks it through, and now an 8-point lead for the Eagles with 3:42 left. Here in the first quarter, it's 21-13.
Robert Schweitzer, number 77, just absolutely pile drove his defender out there. So whenever Ross turned that corner, there was nothing there but a blue end zone. So he stopped, made a sandwich, cut the crust off, cut the sandwich in half, ate it, and then scored.
1 minute, 15-second drive for the Eagles. The Georgetown Eagle football booster scoring drive recap. A quick one. 3 plays, 64 yards in 1 minute and 15 seconds, capped off by a 5-yard touchdown run by Mr. Devin Ross, number 32, the 6'3", 205-pound senior running back. And the Eagles will kick it away from the 40-yard line. I'm assuming Roberts will not get a chance at this one. He's back about the 10 or 11-yard line on the near sideline for the Dogs.
Hello, 123. Ask on YouTube what number Valenta was wearing. Is number 43. Hey, Dave, our buddy Josh Harris is listening from Bangs, Texas.
Hey, Josh.
We miss you, buddy.
Sauceda will kick it off to the far side this time. And a fair catch signal for it to 21, and they're going to let him run. I can't. He put a hand up. And now a flag comes in late there as he got up to about the 32-yard line.
Huh.
But as he dropped back to field that kick, he waved his left hand.
That's what Tucker Griffin's saying. Said he waved his hand. He was telling Coach Griffin, his dad, said he waved his hand. Tucker's coming over. This flag could be a holding because Tucker's shoulder pad is way above his jersey. Personal foul. Oh, it's on us.
And so it's after the play, a 15-yard personal foul penalty on the Eagles. Not sure how. They don't have a field mic here, so you can't hear the official call out the play as he comes over, and the ball will be set. Marked off from the 32, so it's going to go all the way up to the 47-yard line. 15-yard penalty after the play was over. So now good field position again for, it's going to go up to the 48-yard line. So first and 10 at the 48-yard line for Copperas Cove.
Kendall Craig listening and watching from Seattle, and Paula Dickman, Drayden Dickman's grandmother, and I'm assuming the grandfather's there listening too. They're listening in from Muskogee, Oklahoma.
Hand off to Brown. He runs up to about the midfield stripe, gets across the 49 to the 48. See where they mark him down. It'll be at the 48-yard line of Georgetown. So it'll be a gain of about 5 yards. 2nd and 5 now for the Dogs in Georgetown territory.
Boy, this would be a great time for this defense to step up and put an end to this running game.
2nd and 5 from the 48 of Georgetown.
You know it's coming, but that offensive line is doing a good job of moving our guys off the football.
2nd and 5, shotgun snap to Ritchie. He drops back, he's looking to pass, throws across, and it could have been picked off. It should be offensive pass interference as the receiver, number 80, Glass, ran over the defender who had a chance to pick it off. He had the inside line.
That ball wasn't catchable.
The only person that could have caught that one was the defender. So it should be offensive pass interference on the Dogs.
They're going to call this on Georgetown.
That is unbelievable. The defensive back had the best chance for that ball, and he has every right to it. And he got run over by Glass, the receiver. But they're going to mark it as a Georgetown pass interference penalty. And now it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Dogs from the 36-yard line.
That ball's supposed to be catchable for that to be pass interference. But Coach Griffin has not thrown his headset.
1st and 10 from the 36 of Georgetown. Ritchie in the shotgun. He takes it, hands it off to Brown to the left side, up past the 35 to the 30. And now he gets free, breaks a tackle, and he's going to be into the end zone. Another Dogs touchdown. Craig Brown.
Boy, he did a great job of waiting for that hole to open. He did a little stutter step, waited for his lineman to move guys out of the way, and then hit that hole, and he is quick.
21-19, the Eagles lead it by 2. Looks like they're going to go for the 2-point conversion here.
Here we are back at another close matchup with the 6A program. Back and forth, you know.
They're going to huddle up. They're going to go for the 2-point conversion. Are the Dogs of Copperas Cove with 2:48 left here in the first quarter. A 3-play drive. And now a timeout will be called. See who called it. I didn't see who they gave it to. And it's going to be Copperas Cove that takes it as they want to set up this 2-point conversion to try to even the score up at 21 apiece. Quick timeout. Back with more Georgetown Eagle football here on SHN Sports. And back for the 2-point conversion. 2:48 left here in the first quarter. 21-19. The Eagles lead it as Copperas Cove readies for the 2-point try. The quarterback, Ritchie, sends a man in motion to the right. It's Brown. He's going to roll out a little bit to the right. He's looking to throw. The pressure at the middle. The ball's on the ground. Eagles are going to pick it up. Now they drop it. The Eagles are going to pick it up again, and they're going to run with it. That's a tripping penalty. Didn't get called there. And up the near sideline goes, it looks like Hawkins. Nope, number 10. But he'll finally get drug out of bounds about the 32-yard line of Copperas Cove. What a great job as The 2-point conversion is no good. It should have been a tripping penalty on Copperas Cove there. It doesn't really, it goes for naught. But as one of the guys picked up the ball, he turns over and sticks a leg up in the air to try to trip number 10.
Unless he puts that
Lewis.
ball, unless he puts that ball in the end zone, it's much ado about nothing. But
I tell you what, a tripping
fun.
penalty is a 15-yard penalty, and now you kick off from the 25-yard line again. And so just one of those, like the punch earlier, penalties that make a difference in a game are the ones you got to make sure you call those. And that was a clear,
unsportsmanlike on us.
And now a penalty here. That's the frustrating thing. I understand.
So there's their 15-yard kickback.
And so now we'll see where they put it. 2:48 left in the first quarter. No one on the field except the referee out in the middle by himself. But you can't hear anything. No sound system. But another penalty called. And now we talked about it earlier and this week about the pre-snap penalties and things like that. But right now we're getting into big penalties.
Well, that's our second unsportsmanlike conduct too. So that's our guys getting wrapped into this, like we were talking about a little bit earlier. Not getting drawn into this, and the chippiness is there on both sides, and the coach is going to have to put an end to that.
So not sure where they're headed with the ball. Copperas Cove will be kicking off from the Georgetown 45-yard line. You have to expect an onside kick here. With the way this game's gone back and forth.
Why not?
You have nothing. If you get it 10 yards, you're at the 35-yard line. If you pooch kick it on a normal kickoff, you've given it to them at the 30, 35-yard line. So Georgetown's got to ready here for the onside kick.
Got Terry Paul listening in from Plymouth, Massachusetts. Family of Griffin Stockwell. Says go Eagles. Bill Hildebrand listening from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Beautiful Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I've been there a couple times. And then Drayden Dickman's great aunt, I believe. Kathy Cave listening in from Austin. Appreciate you guys listening.
Copperas Cove set to kick off from the 45, and it's going to be kicked deep over the head of Dickman into the end zone for a touchback. And so that will set up the Eagles 1st and 10. They'll have the ball with 2:48 left in the first quarter and a 2-point lead. 21-19, the Eagles lead it. A lot of offense and a very little defense on either side of the field right now. The way these guys are just kind of running through the defenses of each team.
Yeah, I call it E-fence. There ain't no D.
And here comes the Eagle offense. 1st and 10 from the 25 on the near side. Darson Harmon is in the shotgun. Petter 3 yards deep behind him. 3 receivers left, 1 right for the Eagles. Harmon calls it out. Now Petter moves up, offset to the left side of Harmon. Shotgun snap back to Harmon. Fakes the handoff. Nope, gives it to Petter right up the middle. 30, 35, makes a man miss. Gets up to about the 36-yard line. A gain of 11 on first down for Andrew Petter. And it's another borrow from Morrow first down. And quickly the Eagles back up to the ball near side hash mark. 3 men now to the right, 1 to the left.
I like the tempo.
Dominguez, the lone receiver, to the left side. 2:25 left in the quarter. Snap back to Harmon. He stops, plants, throws in the middle. Hawkins, one-handed catch attempt, but he's hit right when the ball hits his left hand, and it's incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
He kind of clutched on that throw because number 15, Tacklebon, the safety for Copperas Cove, was back there, and I think he saw him as he was trying to hit his receiver there and pulled a little bit. That's why that ball was behind him.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 36-yard line. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Daring in motion right. Hand off to Petter. Up 35 to the 40. Runs over 2 defenders up to about the 43-yard line. A nice 6-yard gain for Andrew Petter. And they'll bring up 3rd and 4 now for the Eagles at their own 43-yard line.
That looked like a couple of runs from last year with our all-district running backs last year. Low to the ground, put that shoulder down. I love it.
Daring checks out. Ross back in. So now Petter goes left side. Ross offset to the left of Harmon. Now Dominguez in motion. A little flip to Dominguez on the end around. He gets it up past the first down, makes a man miss, runs over 1, and gets up to about the 49-yard line. It'll be another borrow from Morrow first down, and you got to like the run and play call there. Get Dominguez out in the space.
I do. I like that, but Marcus needs to be kind of careful with that football out there. As he was going towards the sideline, that ball came away from his body. Could get knocked out, but I'll take the gain.
1st and 10 from the 49-yard line. Harmon, shotgun snap, hands off to Ross. He stutter steps, tries to get around the outside and can't do it. He's stacked up as the offensive line got pushed back there.
I hope he didn't hurt his ankle. That was an awkward step, and he just stopped cold, but he's staying. Nope, he's coming out.
So a loss of 2, 2nd and 12 now for the Eagles from the 47-yard line. Ross walks off gingerly. He's on the sideline talking to one of the coaches. 2nd and 12 for the Eagles. Shotgun snap back to Darson Harmon. Sets quickly, and now the sack. Pressure up the middle, and Harmon had no chance. He's sacked by number 8, Jacoby Frazier. And that's a big loss there, all the way back to the 40-yard line. A loss of 9 on the sack. Now it's going to bring up 3rd and 19 for the Eagles.
Frazier came through that gap like he was shot out of a cannon, and Darson had no chance.
Darson looked up and tried to get out of harm's way. Taken down at the 40. 3rd and 19. 18 seconds left here in the first quarter. 2 receivers left, 1 right. As Hawkins now comes motion left. Quick pass to Petter on the screen inside, and he's taken down behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 1. And as the first quarter comes to an end, it's going to be 4th and 20. And I'm sure the Eagles will punt this one away when we come back for the start of the second quarter. You're listening to Georgetown Eagle football here on SHN Sports. We're back for the start of the second quarter. The Eagles line up like they're going to go for it on 4th and 20. I think they're going to call shark, shark, shark. And they do. As they back up into punt formation. Punting away from their own 40-yard line. Ball back. The punt is away. Nice high kick down the middle of the field. Almost touched one of the Copperas Cove players. And Ross just catches it at the 28-yard line. The ball took a big bounce about the 32. And thought it might get a nice roll like Copperas Cove did earlier. And Ross just caught it and put it down at the 28. And that's where Copperas Cove will take over with 11:50 left in the first half.
And then he had that look on his face like, I shouldn't have done that.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from their own 28-yard line.
Jack Ward's listening. Our buddy's back. Good to have you back with us, Jack. Got a family watching from Mount Airy, North Carolina. Austin Davis's grandparents. And Brandon Stovall's grandmother's listening too. Appreciate you guys listening in.
1 receiver right, 1 left. Handoff, but a whistle right before the snap, and it's going to be a false start on the Dogs.
We're just over 1 quarter into the game, and I'm already really interested to see what kind of adjustments these teams are going to make at the half.
So a 5-yard penalty to make it 1st and 15 from the 23 now for the Dogs. And where are the stats after 1 quarter between these two teams?
Hanging out the window.
11:48 left. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Ritchie scrambles to the left. He's pressured. Now he tries to get away, but
tackle.
cannot do it. What a good tackle there made by number 3. That's going to be Bryson Hanks.
Nice job, Bryson, because if he gets away from Bryson, that's a long gain.
And that's a gain of nothing. So no sack in the book. but no gain. It'll bring a 2nd and 15 now. But you're right. He didn't make that tackle. Richie has some running room for at least go to 5 or 6 yards before anyone else was close. 2nd and 15 from the 23. One receiver right. Richie back, drops back about 5 yards. He's looking upfield. Can't, now scrambles, and now he's being chased. A man misses there as Hanks dives at him, but now Richie's going to run out of bounds about the 33-yard line. So a 10-yard gain there. It'll bring up 3rd and 5 now for the Dogs at their own 33-yard line.
I don't know what's going on because we've had a dozen plays now and nobody's put the ball in the end zone.
No joke. So a 10-yard run there by Richie as he scrambled. And now we got a 3rd and 5, an opportunity for the Eagles to put a hold here on the Dogs. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Brown offset to the left of Richie in the backfield. The shotgun snap. Richie takes 2 steps back. He's looking to time one out, throws it down the field. It's way overthrown, incomplete. And that'll bring up 4th and 5 now for the Copperas Cove Dogs with 11 minutes left here in the first half. And it looks like Copperas Cove is going to go for it. Nope, now they're going to call it late. They're going to call it out, and it looks like a punt coming on for the Dogs. So a good job there. Both teams with a stand to start right at the end of the first quarter, start of the second quarter for Copperas Cove, and now the first drive of the second quarter for the Dogs is stopped by the Eagle defense.
One of these football teams is going to pull a fake punt out of their hat before this game is over.
Drayden standing at the 35. Could be fun.
And Drayden Dickman back to receive at the 35 in the middle of the field.
Oh. Delay game.
Now a whistle here. Delay of game on the Bulldogs. So that'll drop it down to 4th and 10, back to the 28-yard line.
They're kicking into the wind, Wally.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah.
Jack Ward said he hopes we didn't let you touch the tech tonight.
The punt away. It's a wobbly short one. It lands at the 49-yard line of Georgetown. It takes a Georgetown hop, and Cove lets it go, and it's all the way back to the 47 of Copperas Cove. So the Eagles will start the possession in Copperas Cove territory. 10:51 left here in the second quarter. 21-19. The Eagles lead it over Copperas Cove.
That's a big stop.
Yeah.
Big stop. Seemed like the defense was kind of starting to get a little bit gassed, but they were able to get some pressure on the quarterback in that circumstance and not let him get out of containment, except for that one gain, but that gain only got him a 3rd and 5, so that was a big stop by the defense.
Coach Pat looks happy.
No, he doesn't. Coach Pat never looks happy.
4 receivers right. 1 receiver left. Darson Harmon alone in the backfield. Shotgun snap will come to him about the 48 of Georgetown. He's looking left for Dominguez, floats it up over the shoulder. A one-handed catch by Marquise Dominguez.
Wow.
What a catch there as he brings it in on the far sideline. A big gain down to the 24-yard line of Copperas Cove. And another 1st and 10 for the Eagles. A borrow from Morrow first down.
When Darson launched that, I said there was no way that was going to be incomplete.
He made up for that one he missed last time.
Bumbles the snap. Now he can't do anything with it. He's going to have to scramble, and he does. Runs over 1 defender up past the 20 to the 19-yard line. So Harmon turns nothing into something. He gets 5 yards on the carry up to the 19-yard line of Copperas Cove. 2nd and 5. He bobbled the snap as it came back and did a good job to at least keep possession of it. But by the time he gets it back, no way to get a pass off, and then he scrambles for 5 yards.
Bobbling that snap really throws a timing play off. And Darrell Royal used to talk about running game 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and as big as Darson is, all he's got to do is fall forward, and he's got the 3 yards.
2nd and 5, turn around, hand it to Petter. 20, now to the 15. Runs into a pile and pushes him back to the 19-yard line. They're going to spot him down at the 20. So it's going to be a gain of 4. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 1 for the Eagles.
I really like watching Petter run that football. He's got great vision, and he sees those holes open up, and just such a quick move. He's able to plant the opposite foot and just change directions instantly, and it's fun to watch.
3rd and 1 from the 15-yard line. I said the 20. I apologize. Up to the 15 of Copperas Cove. The Eagles have it. 9:30 left here in the first half. Ross to the left of Harmon. Petter to the right. Drayden Dickman in motion. Hand off to Petter right up the middle. He gets the first down up almost to the 10-yard line. Mark him down at the 11. But that'll be another borrow from Morrow first down as we're here in the Smoothie King red zone. The Eagles slowly, methodically driving it down now. 1st and 10 from the 11.
I like it because the defense is sitting over there resting, well rested.
Oh, yes.
Getting refreshments on a hot day.
After a good 3 and an out, or 5 and out after up and back. Daring in motion, Harmon snap back. He's going to throw, and it's picked off right there in the middle by the linebacker. The quick pass picked off by number 8. Now a flag should come into play there on the sideline, and it won't, as number 8 gets up from the tackle, takes his helmet off, and continues his celebration 30 yards down the field. But an interception thrown there by Darson Harmon. A good job there. Jacoby Frazier read that one real well as it was trying to be a quick pass to Tyler Hawkins. And Copperas Cove comes away with the first turnover of the night.
He was watching Darson from the snap of the ball, and they obviously had scouted that play, and he just stepped in there. I was kind of expecting a flag to come out because he took his helmet off, and that referee watched him run all the way down the sideline.
First and 10 for the Bulldogs from the 26-yard line. They take over with 8:48 left here in the first half. 21-19, the Eagles lead it. Beautiful sunset here in Copperas Cove. Shotgun snap back to Richie. He's going to head off to Craig Brown to the right side. Gets up past the 30 to the 35. And a generous spot on the far side as he rolls over. And now they bring it back to the 35. He's marked him up to the 36-yard line. So from the 26 all the way up to about the 35 and a half. So a half yard left. 2nd and 1 for Copperas Cove. Hand off to Brown right up the middle. 40 and rolls around, spins off that hit and gets all the way up to the 44-yard line. Another first down for the Dogs as they are driving now.
Boy, he is so patient. And he just waits for those holes to open up, and then he's got that quick burst and just shoots through there before they can do anything. Georgetown's going to have to close those gaps with the linebackers or something.
1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. Snap back to Richie, and he hands it off to Brown. He's hit quickly there at the line of scrimmage and pulled backwards. It's no gain on 1st and 10. Now it'll be 2nd and 10 for Copperas Cove.
Nice run blitz there. Blitzing on an obvious running down, and A.J. Bradshaw, number 5, came in from the edge on his side and was able to wrap him up and bring him down for no gain. And that's what you got to do when that running game right at you is so effective. You got to send those linebackers in there and close the holes. But your corners and your safeties are going to have to be really sure in their coverage.
2nd and 10 from the 44-yard line. 2 receivers left, 1 right for Copperas Cove. They set up on the far side hash mark. Shotgun snap back to Richie. Now he's going to scramble, looks to try to throw it. Now he hops and shakes a man, and he gets up to midfield, runs out of bounds. A good scramble there as he kept the play alive, but he's going to be called out of bounds at the 48-yard line. So it's going to be a gain of 4 yards, and it'll bring up 3rd and 6 now.
Another big 3rd down here, and I wouldn't be hugely surprised if this is 4-down territory for Copperas Cove. Their defense hasn't played horrible here in the second quarter. Both defenses have tightened up some here in the second quarter, so this may be 4-down territory for Cove.
7:16 left in the first half. Shotgun snap to Richie, handoff nonetheless to Brown, and he stopped right at midfield. And they'll bring up 4th and 4 for the Dogs right at midfield. So here's where we see what happens. And it looks like they are going to go for it. They didn't even hesitate.
We are in the stands, so the crowd's getting into it. And so if they the camera shakes a little bit, it's because they're enjoying the metal bleachers here, making some noise.
Well, and your camera filter's about to walk back in front of you again, I think.
Okay.
Timeout called here on the field. So we'll take it with them. 6:57 left in the first half, 21-19. Eagles lead it over Copperas Cove. Back in just a minute with more Eagle football on SHN. And we're back now with 6:57 left in the first half. 4th and 4. Copperas Cove going from it from midfield. Richie in the shotgun. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Craig Brown in the backfield. Offset to the left. Snap over his head. It's deep. Richie gets it about the 35, scrambles, and he's got a man open down the field. And it's thrown. It hits the back of the defensive back. No pass interference there.
We got away with one there.
Brady Olson was covering as number 80. Tristan Glass had gotten free after the deep snap over the head of Richie. But it is a turnover on downs on the incompletion. 6:50 left in the half, and the Eagles get the ball back.
I said before we came back from the break, I told you that was a good timeout, and it was. Georgetown took the timeout on that 4th down to make sure they had the right play called on defense, and the quarterback had no time. Ball goes over his head, but even if it doesn't, I think they blow that play up. But good job by the defense of getting off the field.
Eagles have the ball. 1st and 10 at midfield. 6:50 left in the half. Darson Harmon in the shotgun. He'll take the snap, fake the handoff to Ross. He's looking to throw. He's going to have to scramble, and he throws, steps up, throws it deep. Drayton Dickman adds catch at the 4-yard line. Touchdown! Georgetown Eagles, a one-play, 50-yard drive for the Eagles as Harmon hits Drayton Dickman. Harmon threw the ball just enough to get outside over the head of the defensive back, and Drayton Dickman takes a hesitation and makes the catch. And the Eagles extend their lead now. 27-19, 8-second drive for the Eagles.
When Darson launched that pass, I think Drayton thought it was going to be a little bit short because he slowed his gait just a little bit, and then he saw it was there, and he picked up his speed. Great throw and catch.
Minutemen press, extra point kick is up and good by Carson Sauceda. And now the Eagles lead it by 9, 28-19, 6:42 left here in the first half. The Georgetown Eagle Football Booster Club scoring drive recap. Pretty simple. 1 play, 50 yards. Touchdown pass from Darson Harmon to Drayton Dickman. It took all of 8 seconds off the clock. 28-19, the Eagles lead it. Dave, what a beautiful pass there. Harmon comes back from an interception and then drops a 50-yard bomb for the touchdown.
You know, Drayton Dickman did what we've seen so far in, several practices and game last week. He created that separation so quick and, was still he separated so quick he was still wide open, when the ball got to him.
Absolutely.
Which is, he's so fast.
When the ball got to him, he's still 2 yards past the defensive back when he caught it at the 3-4 yard line for the touchdown.
Real quick, I've got some scores from around the area. Our friends across the highway at not across the highway, we're on the same side of the highway, but the other side of town. Eastview is down 28-0 against Harker Heights. That game's at 5:45 in the second quarter. And Cedar Park is up 10-7 with 1 minute left in the half over Cedar Ridge. So Cedar Park's struggling a little bit against Cedar Ridge team.
New coaching staff there at Cedar Park this year. So some changes. Onside kick. And the Eagles get it. What a kick. Drayton Dickman.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I was caught off guard. I was looking for the ball to go sailing. And the onside kick from Sauceda to Dickman. And that thing scooted across the ground.
Yes.
Dickman slid forward and got it about the 48-yard line. They're going to mark him at the 49. Clearly 10 yards. And no Cove defender in the area. And the Eagles get it back. 6 minutes, 40 seconds on the clock. And they have it 1st and 10 at the Copperas Cove 49-yard line.
I had a feeling somebody was going to pull out something on special teams. I thought it'd probably be a fake punt, but I'm not surprised by the onside kick. Great call.
Kelly's been a special teams clinic so far.
Yeah. Yeah.
1st and 10 from the 49 of Copperas Cove. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Herman in the backfield. Turns around, hands it off to
There he
Moose.
is.
Flea flicker. It's deep. Drayton Dickman wide open. And the catch at the 15-yard line. 1st and 10 for Drayton Dickman, but he's coming up a little.
He's gassed.
He's coming up a little gingerly there.
He's been running a little bit.
He went down hard on that one when he dove to make the catch. It's a little underthrown, but it's 1st and 10 inside the Smoothie King red zone for the Eagles. 6:22 left in the first half. 1 receiver right, 2 receivers left for the Eagles on the near side hash mark. Moose offset right back behind Herman. Hand off to Moose. He hops around, makes a man miss to the 15, up to the 10, and runs into a defensive back and knocks him down about the 8-yard line. Now we're into the Smoothie King red zone.
Nice little stutter step there, that little high step going over some guys.
Moose
Nice
with a
run.
first
Power
carry
run.
there.
Power running.
And it's going to be 2nd and 3.
Is he listed as a fullback?
He is.
Yeah.
Nice.
2nd and 3 from the 8-yard line. Inside the Smoothie King red zone. The big pass from Darson Herman to Drayden Dickman was another borrow from Morrow first down.
I believe we called that timeout.
Yeah.
And now Coach Griffin going to take his second time out of the half. 5:38 left here in the first half. 28-19. The Eagles, leader of the Dogs. Kelly, more scores?
More scores from around our district. Weiss is up 28-7 over the Glen Grizzlies with a minute 14 left in the first half. Pflugerville is up on McNeil 30-14. That game's halfway through the second quarter. The number 7 team in the state, Rouse Raiders, are up 14-12 on Anderson. The Bastrop score is a baseball score. Bastrop is up 7-2 over Manor in the second quarter. Yesterday, Vista Ridge and Leander played, and Vista Ridge squeaked out a 2-point win, 23-21 over Leander. And Hendrickson lost to the Killeen Kangaroos 22-17. So those are the scores from around 5A Division I, District 11.
It's nice to be back in the Smoothie King red zone again.
Gotta love it. And what a play. Now, a good thing to see now. I don't know if you guys recognize Drayden Dickman back on the field for the Eagles. Quickly back to the line. One receiver right, one left. Now motion left. Dominguez, he's going to get the quick pitch, but that's read out by the Dogs, and it'll be a loss back to the 14 or the 13-yard line. Dominguez took the little inside handoff as he came in motion, but he was taken down quickly by number 49,
I believe
Zarek Triplett.
I believe Darson was going to turn
Yes,
receiver
sir.
on that one.
He sure was. I was just about to ask Wally if he saw where Darson was going.
Yeah, that's funny. That's Cooper Bell did the same thing one year as one of his receiving touchdowns.
3 receivers left, one right. Ross offset to the right of Herman in the shotgun. The snap back from the 13-yard line. Pass into the end zone. Drayden Dickman on the end. What's that, the slant?
Yeah.
Into the post. And another touchdown for your Georgetown Eagles. A 13-yard touchdown pass from Darson Herman to Drayden Dickman. And now the Eagles lead at 34-19 with 5 minutes left here in the first half.
So far in this first half, there's only 3 things you can say about Drayden Dickman. MVP.
3 big plays, and then the big kickoff return. Sauceda puts up the Minutemen press extra point kick, and it is good. He's perfect from the extra point standpoint tonight. Perfect on the onside kick standpoint as well. And the Eagles extend their lead now, 35-19 over the Copperas Cove Dogs with 5 minutes left here in the first half. What a job of the offense to respond after the defense makes a stand and does their job, and then they're getting some rest here as then the onside kick to answer and then get the ball back and spend some more time over here letting that defensive line and defensive team get a good break.
Yeah, Coach Pat and the other defensive coaches, I told you they were having that prayer meeting over here on the sideline. And, Dave, I do have to say, I did see Coach Pat smile once.
Yeah. You know, we were speaking about Cooper Bell. I believe we see some Bells in the audience here. Mr. Bell.
All right.
Cooper's sister.
Folks, if anybody's hungry, there's some spam in the chat room. I wouldn't click on those links.
Yeah.
The Eagles set to kick it off from their 40-yard line. The Georgetown Eagle football boosters scoring drive recap. 5 plays, 1 minute, 40 seconds off the clock. 49 yards, capped off by a 13-yard touchdown pass from Darson Herman to Drayden Dickman. The Eagles lead it 35-19, and now the kickoff away by Sauceda on the near sideline. Fielded at the 20-yard line by the Dogs up to the 30. Breaks a couple tackles, drags a couple of men up to the 35-yard line. The return there by number 15, Xavier Tacklebon. 18. That'll be Demetrius Pierce, the sophomore wide receiver. He gets it up to the 35-yard line. And so with 4:49 left in the first half, Cove will take over at their own 35. Very clear there that the Eagles are kicking away from Mr. Roberts.
Yeah, nice job after the onside kick of taking that kick and that possession away from Copperas Cove and going down and scoring. Christopher Sauceda, Carson Sauceda's uncle's listening. Proud uncle.
1st and 10 from the 35. False start, not called there on the Dogs. And Brown gets the handoff, and he'll be driven back there. A great job of responding by the defensive line of the Eagles. They're going to give him the line of scrimmage for no gain. He was stacked up as soon as he hit the line of scrimmage and driven back by the Eagle defense.
That kid is strong. I like watching him run the football.
Now they are going to spot him back. A 2-yard loss. Make it a 1-yard loss. Following the down guy marker to see where he's going. He keeps moving back and forth.
37.25 centimeter loss.
34-yard line. Second down and 11. Now back to pass is Ritchie. He's pressured. He's going to scramble. Hands on him about the 35. The ball comes out. He falls on it. And he falls forward to the 36. A scramble of about 2 yards. That'll bring up 3rd and 9 for the Dogs.
Good job, Georgetown defense, staying disciplined there and not, staying in their spots.
Stay in those lanes. Our defensive line this year is not big. So it's a circumstance like this where you got to rely on some speed and technique. And after that first quarter, the Eagles have done a much better job of taking care of their assignments, staying in their lanes, and containing these athletes on the Copperas Cove side of the football.
3rd and 9 from the 36. Shotgun snap back to Ritchie. He's looking to pass. The rush is on. A miss. Oh, he's going to fling it. It's a backwards pass. And they're going to call that an incomplete pass. That looked like a lateral.
Wow.
But they're going to call it incomplete. So Copperas Cove bailed out there. That would have been about a 5 or 6 yard loss. Instead, it brings up 4th and 9. Great pressure there by number 43 of the Eagles. Michael Valenta, the sophomore defensive lineman, forces Ritchie to scramble. That was clearly a backwards lateral.
2 yards backwards.
And they call it incomplete. The referee whistles it. And now it's 4th and 9. Copperas Cove set to punt with 3:25 left here in the first half. The punt is away. Low line driver. It's going to bounce at the 39 of Georgetown. Dickman lets it go, and the roll continues. We've got to fall on that ball.
Yeah.
As now we're going to have 1st and 10 on our own 16-yard line when the ball hit at the 38. Copperas Cove's kicker does not put air on it. He hits a line drive bullet, and every time it hits, he's gained at least 20 yards on the rollout.
Jack Ward's calling me out. He asked, when have you ever seen Pat smile? And Jack Ward, it was 2 years ago at Meet the Eagles whenever they uncovered the chicken fajitas.
And we are way off football here in Copperas
That's football.
Cove. Fajitas have nothing to do with the Eagles struggling to build a punt. Oh, my goodness. What a job.
Wally's going to punch me in the throat before this game's over.
That's to me, that's frustrating when you let special teams control you back to the 16-yard line. When the ball landed at the 18-yard line, or the 38, it hits, and we just let it roll. And it's one thing, on a field position battle like this game right here and back and forth, 20 yards is 20 yards every time, and we've done that twice now.
Well, and it's like Darson was saying, he used to run out of bounds, and then the coaches say we need those yards, and this is giving up yards.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got 5 yards back when Cove jumped offside just now.
So a 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line.
1st and 5.
Makes it 1st and 5 at the 22.
Put this ball in the end zone.
Harmon gets the snap. He throws it down the far sideline, but it's just over the hands of Marquise Dominguez for the incompletion. That'll bring up 2nd and 5 now from the 22-yard line.
Those earlier quick passes are causing the corners to bite on that pump fake, and that's what's getting those guys open.
Absolutely. Dominguez had a step on his man. That ball just about a yard past him. Couldn't reel it in. 3 receivers right, 2 left. No one in the backfield with Harmon in the shotgun. Center of the field. Takes a snap for the 22. Quick pass to Tyler Hawkins. And it's right behind him. He can't get turned around in time to make the catch. It goes incomplete. And now the Eagles face a 3rd and 5 from their own 22.
Well, it's a big 3rd down, especially for Cove, down like they are in this game. If they can get a stop here, 3:03 left in the half, they got some time to do something with the football. So this is a big 3rd down for the Copperas Cove defense.
1 receiver left, 1 right for the Eagles. 2 running backs in the backfield. Petter offset left side of Harmon. Ross behind him. It's going to be a pass, and it's an out route to Dominguez. He's up past the 25 to the 27. Drug out at the 26-yard line. And that's going to be a yard short, and now it's going to bring up 4th and 1 from the 26. And now that's where the Eagles are behind the now that what difference does it make now that we let the punt roll out? And I know we can beat a dead horse on it, but 2 times we've given up over 40 yards in punt yardage on letting a ball roll out to where it cost us here 1 yard difference. Now we're punting from our 26-yard line and giving Copperas Cove the ball back with just over 2 minutes left in the half. Eagles back in punt formation, back deep at the 40-yard line. Cove has one of their players. The punt high and down the middle of the field, and it's going to land at the 42, and he's going to let it roll out inside the 30, and it's going to roll down. It looks about the 25-yard line, and this time the Eagles beneficiaries has a beautiful punt there for the Eagles. Moves it all the way down to the 25-yard line for Copperas Cove. They'll take over with 2:09 left in the first half.
You know, Wally, we watched that punter at the Georgetown practice, and when he got a hold of that ball and when he could punt it, he could get some distance on it, and he got a good roll on it that time.
Dave, on those punts, can you, since you're out there in the stands, can you hear anybody yelling Peter, Peter, Peter whenever that ball's?
I think it's Shark is the.
I think Shark's the formation. They used to yell Peter when they wanted him to get away from the football.
I don't know. I can't hear it.
Cove takes over. 1st and 10 from their own 25. Hand off to Brown. Right up the middle. He stutter steps, hits the hole, and now up to about the 29. Make it the 30-yard line. They'll give him 5 on the carry. Now 2nd and 5 with 1:55 left here in half number 1.
If they can get a quick first down here, I think they're going to pick up the pace and then start thinking about those last 2 timeouts that they have. But the Eagles are getting hands on the running back, and then the other hands are coming in trying to strip the football away.
2nd and 5 from the 30. 1:40 left on the clock. 2 receivers left. Running back in the backfield. New quarterback in the ballgame. Hand off to Craig. He gets about 2 yards. He's drugged down there about the 32-yard line.
Did you see the quarterback kind of fumble the ball, and he recovered? He just handed it off.
A 2-yard gain for Craig. The quarterback now in the ballgame looks to be Blaine Butler, the junior, number 13. It's 3rd and 3 with 1:15 left in the first half. Cove looking like they're in no hurry right now. 3rd and 3 from the far side hash mark. They'll hand it off to Craig. Right up the middle. He's hit and rides up past the 35, spins off a tackle, and drives the pile forward to the 40-yard line. A nice run there for Craig. And it's going to be a timeout whistled by the coach of Copperas Cove. Their 2nd timeout of the half with 1:01 left here in the first half. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. Craig is a powerful runner. Craig Brown, the number 32, the junior running back for Copperas Cove, he will drag a pile with him. It is amazing. Once he gets that ball and hits the pile, Kelly, he continues to move those legs and carry those players.
He is strong, and he had 4 or 5 guys wrapped up on him, but he was still able to move the pile. And, Wally, I'm checking that Copperas Cove sideline. I'm not seeing – okay, there I see him. Number 7, their quarterback, Shane Ritchie. He's sitting on the bench with his helmet off. Hope he's not injured.
Now being replaced by number 13, Blaine Butler. 1st and 10, 1 minute, 1 second left on the clock here in the first half. Two receivers left for Copperas Cove as they come back out of the timeout. Brown offset directly behind the quarterback, Butler. Pitch to him to the right side. He hits the 40, carries a man up to about the 44-yard line. A gain of 4 on first down, brings up 2nd and 6 from the 44.
Shane Ritchie's over on the sideline holding an ice bottle on his on his left forearm, so I hope he's not injured. You don't like to see any of these kids get hurt. That's why number 13's in there at quarterback right now.
And he did land weird when he threw that ball back behind him. They called an incompletion, and we haven't seen him since that play, so you wonder if he came down wrong on his arm. One receiver right, one left. A fullback in front of the quarterback, Butler. Hand off to Craig Brown. He's up, jumps back, stutter step to the right, drives forward, gets up to about the 49-yard line. It'll be close to a first down. We'll see where they spot it. 15 seconds left on the clock. They're going to spot it just short of a first down. So it'll be 3rd and 1. A short one. Copperas Cove quickly back over the ball. They'll snap it with 3 seconds left. Hand it to Craig Brown. He's up past midfield. 45 down to the 40 where he's knocked down there, but a penalty on the near sideline as time has expired here in the first half. And we'll see what the penalty is. It can't end on a defensive penalty. We'll see what they call here. And maybe too many men on the field for Georgetown. Had an extra man trying to get off on the near sideline, and it is going to be on Georgetown. So it's going to extend the quarter or the half by one play. And it'll be a 1st and 10 from the Georgetown 46-yard line. So instead of the quarter being over, Copperas Cove, of course, accepts the penalty. They're going to call their last timeout. One play remaining here, an untimed down for Copperas Cove from the 44-yard line of Georgetown. We'll take a quick timeout. Be back with the last play of the first half. You're listening to Georgetown Eagle football on SHN Sports. For the untimed down. Copperas Cove has it. 1st and 10, which is irrelevant from the 44-yard line of Georgetown. 3 men, trips right. Shotgun back to Richie. He's in for this play. He scrambles to the right. Right at the 50-yard line, he heaves it up. It's going to be short of the end zone. It could be picked off, and now it's knocked out of bounds off of 2 Eagle defenders. No catch there. The incompletion ends the half. And we go to the half with Georgetown leading by 21, 35-19. Not by 21. By 16, 35-19. The Eagles take the lead. Quick timeout. We'll be back in just a minute. You're listening to Eagle football here on SHN Sports. As we are at the half, the Georgetown band and the Georgettes will perform. We're going to leave 2 mics on and the camera to let you watch the halftime show for the Georgetown Eagles and the Georgettes. Hopefully you can hear the sound. They're going to be facing away from the visiting team stands to the home stands. But we'll let you enjoy the show as we are at the half. Matt Morrow, your residential mortgage expert. Borrow from Morrow. Our family, your future, our focus. For your mortgage needs, remember Matt Morrow. Borrow from Morrow. For more information, visit borrowfrommorrow.com. NMLS 464148. Minutemen Press Georgetown is your one-stop print shop. From business cards to signage and now turnkey mailing solutions for flyers, postcards, bulk mailing, and more. Minutemen Press Georgetown can help bring exposure to your business. For more information, visit mmptx.com. Smoothie King at Wolf Ranch, blending goodness to fuel your greatness. And thanks to the Georgetown Eagle Football Booster Club for their sponsorship as well. Super appreciative of all of our sponsors as we bring back Kelly and Dave now. 6 minutes left here at the halftime. And gentlemen, I tell you what, the first part of the game, the first quarter, well, the whole first quarter, it was back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. It looked like it was going to be a big-time championship boxing match between Sugar Ray Leonard and I mean, it was just crazy. The Eagles come out and have a quick 3-and-out, and you're like, that's the quick start they need. And then they capped it off with a 7-play, 93-yard touchdown drive, and you're like, yes, please, a little bit more. But then Copperas Cove came swinging back, and I tell you what, it went back and forth. 71-yard kickoff return by Drayden Dickman all the way to the 4-yard line, capped off by that little 4-yard plunge by Petter. And then they turn around, and Malcolm Roberts returns it 82 yards for a touchdown return. The slugfest went on until Georgetown kind of made a correction. David, it was crazy right there at that point where they just all of a sudden, Kelly even called it and said, wonder what kind of adjustments we're going to make, and then it was a quick 3-and-out.
Yeah, and Kelly said it, MVP. I think Drayden Dickman to this point is kind of a difference maker. You know, he kind of gave us that separation to give us a 35-19 lead at halftime, and you know, with that nice catch down here, 2 of them, right? 2 touchdowns. Well, 1 touchdown
Two
catch,
touchdowns.
and then another one over here.
2 touchdowns. He almost had a third on the kick return, and then he made that really good tackle on special teams.
And so you look at it here, just some notes I made here. The 71-yard kickoff return was the first thing from Drayden Dickman, and you went, okay, I think they just got a taste of what that speed is. But then you go down, first down and 10. First down and 10 from the 50-yard line. The Eagles took the ball. 1 pass from Harmon to Drayden Dickman, 50 yards for the touchdown.
A beauty.
Turn around the very next possession and a 1st and 10 at the Copperas Cove 49 and a 34-yard passing catch from Darson Harmon to Drayden Dickman to set it up. That was capped off by the 13-yard touchdown reception by Drayden Dickman for his second receiving touchdown of the night. But 3 passes, 50 yards, 34 yards, 13 yards. 2 touchdowns. 1 got us all the way down to the 15-yard line. But then a 71-yard kickoff return that kind of comes right back for the Eagles and lets Andrew Petter with a 4-yard touchdown run. Yeah. Drayden Dickman's had his name all over this game. And at one point, he came down hard on that slant. Yeah. And I got nervous. He came up and he even tapped on his helmet like, hey. And it's like, I hope you're just a little bit winded. Because that's a tool that you want to keep out there as much as possible.
Well, and I think right after the second quarter started, I said it'll be interesting to see what kind of adjustments get made for the second half. But the Eagle coaching staff did a good job of making adjustments to slow that run game down. They started moving those linebackers up and filling the gaps and attacking the football instead of waiting to see where it was going to go, because the Cove offensive line was doing a good job of opening holes and then leaving it to the linebackers who may have been slightly out of position. But then they started attacking those gaps and attacking those spaces that were open, and it slowed that running game down. And you see that because Cove scored 19 points in the first quarter, and then the defense was able to tighten up, and they didn't wait until halftime. They made the adjustment in the second quarter.
Right after he said that is when it turned cold for the offensive Copperas Cove.
So that was the second half shutout for our defense?
The second quarter shutout.
I'm sorry, second quarter.
It was. And you look at it, give credit to the Dogs of Copperas Cove. They went 3-and-out on their initial drive. Second possession, they have a five-play drive that lasts 1 minute and 36 seconds that went 61 yards for a touchdown. They turned around, gave up a touchdown, and then turned around and ran a 82-yard touchdown kickoff return back for a touchdown, get it back, and then come back and score on a 36-yard touchdown run by Craig Brown. 3 possessions in a row. They put up 3 touchdowns, and since then they've had a possession that ended on a punt, 6-play possession in on a punt. The turnover on downs at midfield that turned into a 1-play drive for the Eagles. A punt in their 7th possession, and then the end of the half on the heave towards the end zone. And so 4 possessions in a row now. They haven't done anything. The Eagle defense made that adjustment in the second quarter, not the second half right now.
Right. And again, I go back to our key difference maker is Dickman, but our coaching staff is phenomenal. These coaches, hats off to these coaches. They have so much experience. They've got playoff experience. So for them to make that adjustment right away and not wait is great.
Yeah. I want to update some scores from around the area. Eastview is having a really hard time with Harker Heights. Harker Heights is having their way with Eastview right now. It's 48-0 in the third quarter in that game. Weiss is up 28-14 over Glenn in the third quarter as well. Cedar Park 10-7 against Cedar Ridge. That game's also in the third quarter. In the Pflugerville-McNeil game, Pflugerville is up 37-14 over Pflugerville. 9 minutes, 32 seconds left in the third quarter there. Rouse 36, Anderson 18. That's at the half. Manor and Bastrop are at the half. Manor's up 10-7 over Bastrop. And again, the scores from last night: Vista Ridge defeated Leander 23-21, and Killeen beat Hendrickson 22-17. So those are the scores from around the district, and the other Georgetown team with our friends at Eastview having a hard time with Harker Heights.
So guys, you're seeing your Eagles standing out there on the field. They're not early. Cove just a little late coming out through the tunnel for some reason.
And I tell you what, the Eagles have the lead 35-19 as we start the second half. And they get the ball to start the second half.
Yep.
Copperas Cove took the ball to start the first half and were held up 3 and out right off the bat. And the Eagles respond with that 93-yard drive. We'd love to see a great possession here. Take some time off the clock and get it back down in there. Let's go back to the turnover. Your senior quarterback now has 3 interceptions in the first 2 games of the year. The exact drive after the turnover, the interception, Darson Harmon delivers a 50-yard touchdown bullet. Beautiful pass to Drayden Dickman. He comes back, throws another beautiful pass. The one-handed catch by Dominguez on the far sideline. That ball was laid up perfect. Herman's not hesitant to go back, and the coaches, you love the confidence. Dave, you were talking about it, the adjustment and what it says about the coaches to make the adjustments then, not wait, but then to trust in that senior leadership and that senior quarterback to go back and throw the ball.
He bounced back.
And I had asked Coach Griffin about Darson's ability to get rid of a turnover and just forget about it and move on, and that's obvious there that he did that. Look at the hands team on the front.
Paying attention as Caleb Newberry sets to kick off for the Dogs. He'll send it deep on the near side. Drayden Dickman will get it about the 12-yard line. He'll go back to the middle of the field. He cuts it back, makes a couple men miss. He's hit about the 28, drugged down about the 30-yard line. But a penalty flag comes in late here on the near sideline, about the 25-yard line. Most likely, either I was going to say a block in the back or a hold.
Yeah, I was watching it.
He marks it at the 25-yard line.
So Drayden took a lick right there on that one.
And he kind of came down weird, too. I'm glad he's hobbling, too. I don't know if you saw that, Dave, as he went back to the huddle.
Yes, sir.
He kind of limping there. He came down weird. So a hold on, I think they called hold. Is that what the PA said? A hold on Georgetown. Instead of 1st and 10 at their own 30, it'll be 1st and 10, I believe, from about the 15-yard line. So the Eagles will start with the first possession of the second half at 11:53 left in the third quarter. As they march the ball back, it'll be 1st and 10 from their own 15-yard line is where they will start things off.
Well, we'll get to see what kind of adjustments Cove made to their defense right here to start this second half.
Ross lined up directly behind Harmon in the shotgun now. Offset to the left, 3 receivers left, none right. Hand off to Ross, comes to the right, gets up to the 15, now the 20, gets around the end, 25-30, drug down 35, but ends up carrying his man all the way up to the 40-yard line. A nice 25-yard run to start things out for the senior running back, Devin Ross.
Nice run there by Ross, and he was patient again out there, and the offense did a good job of opening up the right side of that line and giving him a hole, and then he just burst through that hole. Big number 65's hat came off, so he's got to come out for a down.
He comes out there. Number 65.
Broden
Elliott will get a play out. And now Petter set in the backfield, left side. Offset to Herman's left. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Shotgun snap. It's high. Herman's going to have to keep it and run up to the 40. Runs over a defender up to the 45 as he gave the defender a free ride on the Herman Express. Kevin Pontius with the tackle. He gets credit for the tackle as he brought Herman down on his back. 2nd and 5 from the 45 for the Eagles.
Pontius, the linebacker, the junior linebacker for Cove, has made several tackles, but that's the first time I've seen him go backwards.
2nd and 5. Running back offset to the left. Now he'll come in motion to the right side. And backwards lateral. It hits the ground, and Moose will fall on the ball as the whistle blows.
He was going to throw that.
He was, and if you look up, Andrew Petter was 30 yards down the field or more.
Yeah, there he is.
And Moose couldn't hold on to the ball.
Defensive coach over there for Cove's got his hands on his hips. He knew what was coming.
Oh, a big loss there on the backwards pass. That was dropped by Moose. He gets on it, but it's going to be all the way back, it looks like, to the 35-yard line. So a loss of 10 yards, make it or 6 yards. So it'll be 3rd and 16 from the 35. Herman with a shotgun snap. He'll stop, and he's going to hit a nice deep pass. Dominguez open, and he's going to catch it. Oh, he drops it at the 30-yard line. It went right through the hands of the junior wide receiver, Marquise Dominguez.
He wants that one back.
So it'll be 4th and 16 from the 35.
He's already thinking he doesn't want to be in the film room for that one. It's all right, Marcus. You get another chance.
Oh, yeah.
4th and 16 from the 35-yard line. Will be a punt. So here we go. The Eagles line up. Punter back at the 20-yard line. Deep man at the 34, the Bulldogs. The punt is away, and it is short, high, near sideline. Bounces at the 48 of Cove, and it's going to get a kind Eagle roll all the way back to the 42-yard line. So a lucky break there for the Eagles. The punt only goes a total of 23 yards. And Copperas Cove will get their first possession, 1st and 10 at their own 42.
Luke's gonna come over to the sideline and tell Marcus that last play's all right.
Exactly right. You hate to see that there.
Well, we got the roll.
So
now we get to see the adjustments on the Georgetown defense.
9:59 left here in the third quarter. Copperas Cove 1st and 10 from their 42. A handoff to Brown. And he's up in the middle, and he gets slammed down to the ground. Back at the line of scrimmage, no gain. Was that by number 5?
Number 5, yep.
Number 5,
A.J.
Bradshaw with a big hit on Craig Brown, the running back.
A.J.'s one of them that I was kind of excited to see how he was going to do this year. He's a senior. He played a little bit last year, and he's a good athlete. We haven't called his name a whole lot, but A.J. shot through the gap right then. And it goes to what we were talking about, filling those holes.
2 receivers left, 2 running backs in the backfield. Richie takes it, pitches it to number 5, Roberts, to the right side. He's hit quickly from behind and taken down. Nice tackle there by Ian Lewis.
He chased him.
Gain of 2.
He chased him down pretty good ways.
Nice job by Jesse Avila, number 7, out there on the left side of that defensive line for Georgetown, keeping his assignment out there and making that play turn back in, so there was nothing really there. Short gain, so it's 3rd and long now for the Bulldogs.
3rd and 8 from the 44-yard line. 2 running backs in the backfield. Offset of Richie. 1 receiver right, 1 left. Richie, deep drop. It looks like a little screen coming, and it's wide open. No one there. Attempt at the tackle made at the 45. No good. And breaking out is Craig Brown on the left side. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. And they're going to whistle him out of bounds at the 6-yard line. A great hustle there by number 24, Gabriel Danova. He just sticks with the pursuit and knocks Brown out at the 6-yard line. You saw that play develop, over pursuit there as the defensive line crashed in, and one lone linebacker tried to make the tackle on Craig Brown, and that's not going to happen many times.
No, and Richie had 2 options. He could have had a swing pass available out to the right, but that was covered very well. And then he comes back to that middle of the field screen, which was wide open there.
So a 1st and goal for the Copperas Cove Bulldogs at their own 6-yard line. They'll be at the near side hash mark in the backfield. Richie in the shotgun. Roberts to his left, though. Handed off to Roberts. Breaks to the right side, cuts it to 5, and gets around the outside of the defense and into the end zone for a Copperas Cove touchdown. With 8:32 left in the third quarter, Copperas Cove responds quickly after a stop of the Eagle offense. They respond with a 5-play drive for their first touchdown of the second half.
Nice play calling by the Copperas Cove coaching staff over there and making up for not being able to run the ball as effectively as they had before, so they go to the short passing game again.
They're going to go for the 2-point conversion as Richie stays on the field. The offense in there for the Bulldogs. One receiver left, one right. Richie in the shotgun with Roberts to his left, Brown ahead of him. Hand it off to Roberts. He's going to cut it out to the outside, breaks it back inside and into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. It is good, and so now the score just 8-point lead for the Eagles, 35-27 with 8:32 left here in the third quarter. The Bulldogs waste no time. 1 minute and 27-second drive on 5 plays results in the touchdown.
Wally, kind of interesting fact that I had forgotten about. Eagle Fight came on in the chat on YouTube and pointed out there's some historical aspects to both these teams with coaches Art Briles and Hal Mummy. I don't know if you know, I know you know Art Briles' name, but Hal Mummy went into the college coaching ranks as well. Hal Mummy coached at Copperas Cove, and Art Briles coached at Georgetown for 1 year.
And one of the players, I believe, still in the NFL, Robert Griffin III.
Yep,
played
Robert
his
Griffin III.
high school ball here
RG3.
at Copperas Cove. So the Bulldogs respond with their opening drive of the second half. 4 plays, 58 yards in a minute and 27 seconds. And they cut the lead back to 8 now for the Eagles, 35-27. Eagles back to receive. The kick put into motion. And it's a little squib kick over the front line. It checks up, and Copperas Cove is going to get it.
I knew it.
Hayden Daring.
I knew it.
Hayden Daring waited for it to bounce and was going to build it on the bounce, and it backed up. And a nice little spin on the ball there, and it hit and checked back. And the Copperas Cove Bulldogs respond with their own kind of onside kick, and now they have the ball 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line of Georgetown.
I was wondering if Copperas Cove was going to pull something out of the bag on their special teams, and they did. They got the ball back, and now the Eagle defense needs to tighten those helmets up and stop this drive.
One receiver left, one right. Richie back in the backfield. The shotgun snap. It's messed up. Richie picks it up and scrambles, trying to save what he can of it, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage for no gain. That'll be 2nd and 10 now for Copperas Cove. They're at the Georgetown 38.
That's the 3rd time there's been an issue with the snap, but Richie has done a good job of not panicking and not losing yardage on any of those snaps that have been fumbled or snapped over his head even. He had one in the first half that was snapped way over his head, and he wound up turning a little bit of something out of that, but he does a good job of not panicking back there in those circumstances.
Does a good job of getting back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 at the 38 of Georgetown. 2 receivers left now. Handed off to Craig Brown. 40, 35, scats through the line up to the 30-yard line. That's a gain of about 8 yards there to bring up a short 3rd and 2 now for the Bulldogs.
Definitely 4-down territory here. Their kicker's got a decent leg, but I don't know that this is within his range right now. And 3rd and 2, they'll hang on to this for a couple more snaps unless they get a first down here.
7:25 left in the third quarter. 3rd and 2 from the 30-yard line. Quick handoff to Craig Brown, hits the line of scrimmage, and carries the pack with him forward for about 2 yards. They're going to give me the spot about the 27-yard line. So a 3-yard gain and another first down for the Copperas Cove Bulldogs.
Now you don't have to make that decision.
Still riding on the back of Craig Brown, the big running back for the Bulldogs. 7 minutes left here in the third quarter. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs on the 27 of Georgetown. 35-27. Georgetown leads by 8. Craig Brown, 2 yards in front of Richie, who's in the shotgun. Roberts directly behind him. Delay now. They'll hand it to him. He goes to the left side. Tries to get around in, and he does, but it's going to be a penalty. The ball's on the field. It's a scramble for a pile at the 20-yard line. They'll blow the whistle. But number 3 for Copperas Cove, Wyatt Nelson, falls on it.
Flag came in.
I'm guessing it's going to be a holding penalty on the left side of on the left wide receiver here. It came in for the near side lineman. He threw it in there, and it looked like a good hold there. And that's how kind of Nelson got outside the corner on the left side. Make the signal here. Illegal block in the back, Dave. Is that what that was?
Yeah, I missed it. I was looking at the sideline
that's
over
what
here.
the hand signal was. Hey, while we're talking about NFL alumni, Mason Crosby, Christopher Sauce to remind us that don't leave Mason Crosby out. Still the kicker for the Green Bay Packers.
One of the best to ever play the game.
Yeah, Mason's been kicking for Green Bay since 1847.
It seems like it. That young man has been doing a phenomenal job. So now 1st and 18 for the 35. Hand off to Roberts around the right side. Good tackle there.
Good job.
Let's see who made that one. It's going to be, if it's the same one I'm thinking of, number 43. It is Michael Valenta, the sophomore linebacker. Great pursuit there to run down Roberts, take him down.
Back to Mason Crosby. When we bought a new ladder truck up there in Appleton, Wisconsin, he was kind enough to meet us up there, him and his family, and took some pictures at the stadium up there in Green Bay.
So ball back to the 36. 2nd and 19 now for the Dogs. Richie back to pass. He throws it down the right sideline, and it's going to be a pass interference.
Yeah. He was looking back for the ball.
That ball was way overthrown, too.
But you have to – I agree with that.
Holding.
It was way overthrown, but the receiver continued in his route, and the defensive back stopped looking for the ball, and he ran into him. It's going to be a 15-yard penalty, but the bad thing is it's going to be an automatic first down after it was 2nd and 19 at the 36.
I want to back up to that previous play where they shut that run down. It was another circumstance where Jesse Avila, number 7, came up on that left side of that line and was able to turn that back in. And, boy, that's just taking care of your assignment. And that's why those assignments are there, because it forces it back to your other 10 friends who are inside those numbers.
So now it's going to be 1st and 10. Copperas Cove at the 21 of Georgetown on the pass interference penalty. 1st and 10 at the 21. Craig Brown to the left of Richie in the shotgun. They're going to hand it off. Nope, Richie keeps it to the left side, and he stumbles and falls down as he was trying to cut to the outside. That run pass option there, he did a great job of keeping that one, but he ends up falling down, and he loses a yard there. Back to the 22, making the 23-yard line. It's going to be a loss of 2. Now it'll bring up 2nd and 12 for the Bulldogs.
Tyler Hawkins came flying in from the right side and forced him outside, and he lost his footing. I don't know if Tyler was able to get a hand on one of those feet or not. May have, but good job by Hawkins coming in from that edge.
Now hand off to number 22 in the backfield. He scouts to the right side. He breaks a tackle up to the 10, 5, and tackled into the end zone for a touchdown by Copperas Cove. They slipped in Braden Brooks Smith in the backfield, another senior running back, and he did some nice movement to the right side, some hesitations. Gets all the way into the end zone for the touchdown, and now the score down to 2, 35-33. And you got to think Copperas Cove will go through for 2 points again here to try to tie it up.
Yep, they're going for 2. Quarterback just motion.
Got us a ball game, gentlemen.
So Brooks Smith with a 23-yard touchdown run, the 8th play of the drive, and Copperas Cove with a chance to tie it up. Richie scrambles out. He's looking to throw. He's pressured, throws it into the end zone. And it is incomplete, so the 2-point conversion is no good. So the Eagles record a stop there. And with 5:04 left in the third quarter, the Eagles lead by 2, 35-33. So Copperas Cove has made some adjustments. Now the Eagles are going to have to make some more on defense to kind of squell this power offense being brought forward now by Copperas Cove here in the second half.
Boy, in that 2-point conversion, the left side of the defense did a great job of sniffing out those routes on the edge and not giving the quarterback any place to go with the football. And he tried to squeeze it in out there on the sidelines, but they did a great job of shutting that down. But now the defense really has to come in here. Offense needs to have a good, long, sustained drive. Let that defense rest.
Yes, that's what I was fixing to say. I sure would like to have one of those 97-yard drives by your senior quarterback.
And your defense has to be whooped. They just they had a 4-play drive
most of the third quarter, right?
Exactly. They had a 4-play drive that the Copperas Cove. Copperas Cove had a 4-play drive and scored a 58-yard drive, and then they onside kicked it, got it right back, and then drove down another 3-minute, 26-second drive and scored again. So the defense asking for a break from this Eagle offense. And so
I'm watching Coach Pat down here, and, everybody that knows Coach Pat knows he's kind of hard. I'll follow up on that.
Another pooch kick, and they're going to let it go out of bounds. This time it went a little too far. Number 14, Kendrick Stewart, one of the kickers in combination here for the Dogs, tries to do another pooch kick.
Well, we get good field position on that with the penalty.
Yeah, I'll follow up with what I was saying about Coach Pat. Anybody that knows Coach Pat, because he's been around Georgetown for a long time, knows that he can be really stern. But right now, he's not yelling, he's not hollering. He's teaching these kids. He's coaching them up, getting them ready for the next possession, and it's fun to watch the coaches on the sideline sometimes.
So now the Eagles will take over. We'll see their market. It's kind of a loss here for the Georgetown Eagles on this one. The kickoff was from the 40. It went out about the 40, and they get it at the 40.
Well, if it goes out of bounds inside the 35, then it comes to the 35. And if it goes out of bounds before the 35, then it's a 5-yard penalty for illegal procedure.
So no real loss here for Copperas Cove on the attempt, right, going out of bounds. The Eagles get the ball. 1st and 10 from their own 40. 5:04 left here in the third quarter. Hand off to Andrew Petter to the left. Pushes forward with the pile. It'll move all the way up right to about the 44-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4 on first down for the Eagles and Andrew Petter. 2nd and 6 now from the 44.
That formation looked kind of like a reverse wishbone almost, because they had half the offense in the backfield, just about 3 backs in the backfield along with Darson.
2nd and 6. Shotgun snap. Fake the quick pass right in the middle. Tyler Hawkins wide open. And the throw is low, and Hawkins goes down and makes the catch. See where they spot him. It's going to be at the 39-yard line. What a catch there by Tyler Hawkins. He popped open. Harmon just a tad bit late on the pass, but Hawkins recovers, makes a great effort there, and catches it as he dives down to the ground. 1st and 10 now for the Eagles at the 39 of Copperas Cove.
I think Darson was going to try to hit him on a quick slant, but the safety jumped in front of it, and Darson waited for him to get open beyond there.
Hand off to Ross, left side. He breaks it past the 35 to the 30, and then he's drugged down there about the 27-yard line, 28-yard line of Copperas Cove. Another first down run, and the Eagles quickly back to the line. 1st and 10 at the 28. They'll get set. Copperas Cove scrambling on defense. Snap back. They'll hand it off to Ross, left side, outside the 25, up to the 20-yard line. He'll run out of bounds there. They'll mark him out at the 21. A nice little 7-yard run on first down for the Eagles, and Devin Ross got back, and you saw the defense there for Copperas Cove, unable to get set. The Eagles quickly to the line, and now they got a guy down for Copperas Cove. So a timeout whistled here by the official.
When you give up 2 scores like that, sometimes these kids want to panic and try to make more things happen than they really need to make happen. So the offense, Darson in particular, has done a good job of really staying in control, get back to what we do. Good play calls, running the ball, which is going to open up some stuff down the field eventually if they can continue to run the ball like that. Ross is doing a good job of taking the yardage that he can get, doling out a little bit of punishment. I'd like to see him get out in front of those pads a little bit more sometimes, but he's done a good job of moving now, and this is exactly what this offense needs in this circumstance.
2nd and 2 from the 21. Harmon back. He's going to float one down the sideline, and he just overthrows Marcus Dominguez in the end zone.
Every time they've run that play, and they've run it 4 or 5 times, every time they've run it, it's there. We've hit it a couple of times, missed it a couple of times, but I think that's going to continue to be there, and that corner on the right side of the Copperas Cove defensive line out there is struggling in coverage out there.
Marquise Dominguez gets a step or 2 on him every time on that route. Earlier making the beautiful one-hand catch. 3rd and 2 from the 21. Fake the handoff. Herman keeps it around the right side. 20, 15, 10, 5. Herman tackled. He'll be spotted down inside the 1-yard line. 1st and goal as he breaks in.
Rumble, big boy.
Into
Rumble.
the Smoothie King red zone. And now 1st and goal from the 1-yard line.
That looked like a design run just for Harmon.
First and goal,
There
and
it
he's
is.
going to keep it to the left side. He hits the linebacker. His helmet pops off, and Harmon the linebacker's helmet came off.
Linebacker's helmet came off.
Herman dropped the shoulder and ran over the linebacker, number 8, Jacoby Frazier.
Mr. Frazier, meet Mr. Harmon.
And the quarterback, Darson Herman, for the 1-yard touchdown scramble, and there's the delayed horns. Touchdown, Georgetown, 41-33 as Carson Saucedo comes in to attempt the Minutemen press extra point kick. 3:25 left here in the third quarter. The snap back, the kick up, and it is good, but now a penalty flag.
That's going to be a personal foul because he jumped over the center, which you can't do.
Number 34.
There was an assisted lift.
Jalen Thomas. That'll be assessed on the kickoff, so the Eagles should be kicking on the Copperas Cove side of the ball.
Firefighter laughed because he thought I said lift assist. And if you don't know what that is, on the extra point on a field goal attempt, they try to protect the center, and a defender can't be lifted by somebody, and he can't push off of somebody. So when he jumps, he can't put his hand on the back. Yeah, and that's what it is. It's jumping over the center. They're limited in what they can rush over the center, but you can't jump over the center. You can't attack right at the nose of the center. That's a personal foul. And if you jump and push off of one of the linemen with your hand, that's an illegal move. Or if somebody lifts you to get you up and try to block the kick, that's an illegal move. And that's your football lesson for the day, ladies and gentlemen, on special teams. Tune in next week.
And it's a thing where that center, he's in a vulnerable position.
Yes.
His head is down, his neck is exposed as he's looking back between his legs, especially on a deep snap, a punt or a field goal kick. They're exposed. They don't have the response time of a lineman that's not doing the center duties. And so very, very important, one, to protect that player.
Yeah.
That's just one, and the own player, when he jumps over like that, takes a chance of hurting himself, and you don't want to see that at any level, much less at the high school level. If he gets his foot clipped and he comes down on his head or his neck, now you get into a serious injury possibility, and so nothing you want to see. But it is a penalty and whistled there on Copperas Cove, so the Eagles will kick off from the 45-yard line of Copperas Cove. Copperas Cove had this earlier, and they just kicked it deep into the end zone for a touchback. The three-kicker combination of Moose, King, and Sauceda will approach the ball at the 45 of Copperas Cove.
I'd like to see King bounce this off of the thigh of number 81 right there in the middle of the Copperas Cove.
Saucedo rarely steps back that far.
And he dribbles up. He's going to kick it high and deep, and it'll go into the end zone for a touchback, so they return the favor.
Right. Saucedo normally takes like a 3-step drop, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, what's going on here?
Hey, I do have to mention we have several alumni listening, but I saw Hunter Springer said I can hear Pat from here. So Hunter probably still hears Pat in his dreams sometime. Hunter, it's good to see you, buddy. Glad you've joined us tonight. Of course, Jack Ward's listening in. Alexandria Clark said her brother, number 25, made that wonderful one-hand catch. So she got to watch Marcus make that awesome one-hand catch. Proud sister there.
And now Copperas Cove with the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A 9-point lead for the Eagles, 42-33. Hand off to Roberts. He goes to the right side, tries to get to the outside. It does, and he breaks it down the far sideline. 40, 45, 50, 55, or 45, 40. Let's see where they whistle him out of bounds, all the way up to the 36-yard line of Georgetown. A big run there by Malcolm Roberts.
About the 63-yard line?
At the 63-yard line. He's down there. He got going so fast I couldn't keep up with Malcolm Roberts. I tell you what, that running attack here, Greg Brown is getting it a little, but Malcolm Roberts now in a little speedier back, and he likes to get to that outside corner. And when he does, he's hard to catch.
Both those guys are so patient, and then they've got that quick burst. They're at full speed in 2 or 3 steps.
1st and 10 from the 36 of Georgetown. Now a hand off to Brooks Smith to the left side. He tries to get outside and does, but now he's tracked down about the 31-yard line. Who got him there? Number 15, I believe it was. Going to be by Carson Guido. He tracks him down at the 31, so it'll be a gain of 5. 2nd and 5 now for Copperas Cove.
Yeah, and those two running plays, the outside linebackers stayed back some, so that outside run is there. and instead of diving in, containing on the ends, the play they had called, maybe expecting a pass again, that outside run was there, so they tried the right side, success, tried the left side. Pretty good gain on first down, 2nd 5 now.
2nd and 5 from the 31. And now a whistle. And it'll be a timeout for Copperas Cove. They'll take their first timeout of the half at the 2:29 mark of the third quarter. 42-33. The Georgetown Eagles lead it over the Copperas Cove Bulldawgs. And quite the battle here as they're back and forth to slug things out here in the third quarter, just like it happened early on in the first quarter before changes got made by both teams. And so now Copperas Cove going to a three-pronged attack at the backfield between Craig Brown, between Malcolm Roberts, and now Braden Brooks Smith as well.
I got to mention, Dave's usually on the sideline for us, but tonight he's on the camera, and he has done a phenomenal job for us on the camera, Dave. You've done a great job.
Thank you.
Just gifted, man. Just gifted. I guess it's all that Xbox.
Yeah, that's what my friends say. I'm special.
I'm sure they do.
Plenty of time sitting in the firehouse on the Xbox playing with his buddies. But we understand, and we are appreciative.
Well, you know,
our firemen.
You got to study a little harder next time, fellas.
Hey,
To
retirement.
pass the test. You know?
Retired life for me is good. How about you, Kelly? Snap back to Richie, hands it off to Craig Brown, goes to the right side, pops it out 30, and piled up about the 26-yard line, and driven back there. But it should be enough for a Copperas Cove first down, a 5-yard gain up to the 26.
Seems like the defense isn't attacking as much as they were when they were having some success stopping this run.
And who is down? Is that Craig
That's
Brown?
him. That is. Hate
He's
to
holding
see
that left knee.
Mm.
It looks like they're going to spot him just short.
Cramp.
Okay, that's good to see. I'd rather it be a cramp than anything. He rolled over and had that knee bent and was holding the knee. So they'll treat him quickly there in the middle of the field, about the 30-yard line of Georgetown.
It's good to see the sportsmanship. All the kiddos take a knee, everybody, including the cheerleaders.
A quiet crowd. Never want to see anyone hurt. I still wish we could have followed up with the Belton coaching staff on Underwood when he left the game limping last week there in Georgetown.
Yeah.
I did talk to Coach Griffin and ask if he had heard anything, and he said nothing was mentioned when they had a conversation a couple days later, one of the coaches and Coach Griffin himself. And so he thought he would have brought something up if it were a major injury. So you hope that Underwood is okay. But so it's going to be 3rd and 1 when they get Craig Brown up, and it looks like he just is cramping up there as he now gets helped up, and he's going to limp off to the near side after the cheers of the crowd. You got to love hearing that from the crowd, making sure that Craig Brown is okay as he walks up kind of gingerly here. But you got the two weapons, Brooks Smith and Roberts, in the running game for the Copperas Cove. So no loss there in the sense of you just reload it.
That is a two-headed monster at that running game for Copperas Cove. And we said it last week. We love seeing good athletes play this game regardless of what uniform they're wearing.
3rd and 1 at the 27. Around the outside and driven out of bounds. And they're going to call a late hit. I'm assuming there's a penalty came out into the sideline of Copperas Cove. Penalty flag thrown there. You only say, I think
they may call a horse collar. It looked like he was grabbing up around the neck of the shoulder. Yeah, it's going to be a horse collar.
Personal foul called against the Eagles.
They called a late hit.
First down.
So not sure what it exactly was. He didn't give any signal other than a personal foul. But after the first down run down to the 21, it looked like yard line. Now it's going to be down to the 11-yard line. 1st and 10 for Copperas Cove.
It's just a back and forth game, guys. I mean, a lot of yardage covered on this field.
Hand off to Roberts around the right side. He cuts back, breaks 2 tackles into the end zone for another Copperas Cove touchdown. Malcolm Roberts doesn't waste any time doing his job as he takes back in after Craig Brown went out with the injury. And Roberts puts it in for the touchdown. A 3-point lead now for the Eagles, 42-39 with 1:49 left here in the third quarter.
Brown's a pretty good-sized running back.
Look at the right side of that line for Copperas Cove there.
Yeah.
Number 73.
Roberts is small, and he gets hidden behind that big old boy.
Snap back. The extra point attempt is up and no good.
Boy.
As number 14, Kendrick Stewart, put it off the left upright. Boom.
Doink.
Was the noise.
Doink. Difference of a field goal.
He thought it went in. And it did not cross the goalpost. And so, not far off from it. It hit it kind of weird in the weird spiral. It hit the goalpost in. But to the benefit of the Eagles, the lead remains at 3. 42-39. 1:49 left here in the third quarter. Copperas Cove will kick it off. But yeah, I tell you what, that's 2 touchdowns in a row for number 5, Malcolm Roberts, the senior running back. Brooks Smith, one of the running backs, in with a touchdown run. So three different running backs have scored a touchdown on the ground tonight for Copperas Cove. So it doesn't matter who they're putting back there. This running game is hard to stop.
Well, and you know, Coach said it in the coach's show. He said it in the interview that we had, and he said it right before the game started. Got to stop the run, and they haven't been able to. We've just outscored them.
Exactly. And now, if you can get Darson Harmon and Marquise Dominguez to hook up, catch that pass down the left sideline. Dominguez gets a step or two on his defensive back every time. So if they can connect on one or two of those, it's going to be quick scores again for the Eagles. That timing just barely off in the last couple of passes from Harmon to Dominguez there on that sideline.
Do you kick it deep?
Kendrick Stewart set to kick it off, and he will. Pooch kick it a little bit deeper than normal. Fair catch made at the 27-yard line by number 22, Andrew Petter. And the Eagles will have the ball 1st and 10 from their own 27 with 1:48 left in the third quarter. Now the offense has to respond for the Eagles. And again, if nothing else, to give your defense some time to rest up. They have been on the field a lot here in the start of the third quarter. 1st and 10 from the 27. Darson Harmon in the shotgun snap. 1 receiver left, 2 receivers right. Ross offset to the left side of Harmon in the backfield. On the far side, hash marks. Ball snap back to Harmon. Fakes the handoff. He looks to fire, does, to the near sideline. Drayden Dickman goes up, makes the catch about the 37-yard line. First 10 yards. Nice play there, and Drayden Dickman went up and hauled it in and got hit as soon as he caught it. Good job to bring it in and hold on to it for another borrow from Morrow first down.
That took a little bit to get there.
Oh, they whistle it short. Harmon rolls out on 2nd and 1. One official on the near sideline was waving the crew down, but now it'll be a 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line. So it was only a 9-yard completion. And now it's a 1st and 10 from the 40.
Correction, 2nd. They corrected a mistake.
What?
2nd and 8.
So it was a 1st and 10.
Yeah.
And
The crew,
I think
crew
a totally
was a little
different.
behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of confusion there. And that's on the line judge and not waiting for the crew to get set and make sure it's right. So now it's 2nd and 7 from the 42. Handoff to Ross to the right side. Gets outside the line and breaks it up to midfield. Make it the 49 of Copperas Cove. He's waving his arms. Chain crew move it down. 1st and 10. Another borrow from Morrow.
Wow.
First down for the Eagles at the 49.
Nice job. Nice play calls. Again, staying patient.
Ross has got fresh legs.
Ross takes the handoff. Comes across. Gets across the line of scrimmage. And he'll be down to the 46-yard line of Copperas Cove. A gain of 3. So it'll be 2nd and 7 now.
Big number 72, Ian Sanders, got away with a little bit of a hold in there in the middle, but hey, no flag, no foul.
2nd and 7 from the 46, 57 seconds left in the third quarter. Handoff to Ross to the left side. Up past the 45-40. Makes a couple miss and then runs over 3 defenders up to the 35-yard line. Another good run there for Devin Ross, the senior running back. And another borrow from Morrow. First down for the Eagles up to the 35 of Copperas Cove.
Jalen Donald, number 4, the cornerback for Copperas Cove, was the last one to pay for that run, and he just got drilled.
Hey, recruiters, Georgetown's got a run game too.
First and 10 from the Copperas Cove 35. 3 receivers now to the left, none to the right. Moose offset to the left of Harmon in the backfield in the shotgun. Snap to Harmon. He's going to hand it off to Moose. Right up the middle. Moose to the 30, 25. Breaks it out to the right side. 20, 15, 10, 5. Moose to the house. Georgetown Eagle touchdown.
Nice.
Dave, what was that? What? Recruiters, what? Georgetown has a running game as well.
Absolutely.
Oh, the Moose comes in and takes him for a 35-yard touchdown run. Touchdown runs from Darson Harmon, from Mr. Andrew Petter, and now from the Moose. 3 different people have run in rushing touchdowns for the Eagles tonight.
Love to see it.
48-39. The Eagles lead it by 9 with a chance to make it 10 as Saucedo ready for the extra point. The Minutemen press extra point kick up and good. Carson Saucedo so far on the year 100% in the extra point department and also in the field goal department when he hit the career-long 41-yard field goal last week against Belton.
Nice run. Great play calling in that. Mixed it up nicely. Kept the defense on their heels in that circumstance. Gave our defense the opportunity to rest. I like the play calling on offense. What I like even more is this young, or not necessarily young, but inexperienced offensive line is really doing a good job of controlling the line of scrimmage when we're on offense. And that was the big concern before the season started. No returning linemen on either side of the football. So these guys have gotten their legs under them now, and they're blocking with some confidence.
The Georgetown Eagle football boosters scoring drive recap. 6 plays, 73 yards. It took 1 minute and 35 seconds to go those 73 yards, and it's capped off by a touchdown run of 35 yards by number 9, your senior running back, Kalen Moose, David Mousset. What a job of cutting it back, too, by the big man.
Great job.
He was headed to the right side. He cuts it back to the middle, shoots up the gap, and then back to the right and outruns him to the end zone.
He had a second gear, didn't he?
Oh, it was good to see. And I tell you what, you didn't see him run much last week.
Right.
Another weapon coming out here in week 2 for the Eagles. 49-39. Georgetown by 10 with 13 seconds left here into quarter number 3. Saucedo looks to be kicking, and he does, to the near side. It's going to land about the 17. It bounces around, fielded by Brooks Smith back at the 10-yard line, up to the 15. Strings it out to the right side where he's finally taken down.
Big block in the back.
And now it's going to be down. It looks like 1st and 10 for Copperas Cove. About the 21-yard line or the 19. We'll see where they finally get the ball out of the crowd over there of the Bulldogs. It's going to be 1st and 10 for Copperas Cove at their own 21 with 6 seconds left here in the third quarter.
Man, after seeing this chat, I need to get one of those boards that you can put sticky pins in for locations across the country, because we've got Boise, Idaho online with us. We got Florida in the house. So
Boise, that might be Hawkins up there.
No, it's not Hawkins.
No?
1st and 10, hand off to Malcolm Roberts. He gets about a yard up to the 22-yard line, and that's where the third quarter will come to a close. 49-39, the Eagles lead it by 10 as we head to quarter number 4. We'll come back. Copperas Cove will have it 2nd and 9 from their own 22-yard line. You're listening to Georgetown Eagle football on SHN Sports. Back here for the start of the fourth quarter, 49-39. The Eagles lead it by 10 over Copperas Cove. 2nd and 9, Copperas Cove has it at their own 22-yard line, near side hash mark. Richie in the shotgun, offset by Craig Brown to his right side. 2 receivers left, 1 right for the Bulldogs. Eagle defense ready now. Shotgun snap back to Richie. Hands it off to Brown up the middle, past the 25. Drags 3 Eagles forward to the 31-yard line. And that'll be enough for the Copperas Cove first down. You see Craig Brown back in.
Yep.
After the going out with the cramp there earlier in the third quarter.
Boy, this clock just cannot run fast enough.
Exactly.
11:45 left in the game and up by 10.
1st and 10 from the 31-yard line of Copperas Cove. Shotgun snap back to Richie. He'll hand it off to Roberts. He patiently waits and tries to hit the hole, and he's hit quickly there. Catch that number for me, Dave. I can't see who it was. It may have been Tyler Hawkins.
I didn't catch it.
He's
Looked
walking
like
all the way
38.
back about the 48-yard line near midfield.
That's 18.
Number 18, Trent McConnell, up and filled the gap there and shut that one down right at the 35-yard line. A gain of 3. 2nd and 7 now. Nice hit there by the senior McConnell. Now it'll be Roberts around the left side. He tries to get around the end, and that's not any good. He gets drugged down there about the 37-yard line.
That's good that we've also plugged that hole on the outside because they've been running around the outside for big gains on us, right, Kelly?
Yep.
Third and 5 now.
David, you were right. I just got a text from Brian Hawkins saying it is Brandon Hawkins and some other of his Boise State teammates listening to us from Florida. So welcome.
Shout out to Boise State.
Boise
State.
Boise.
Thanks for listening to the broadcast. 3rd and 5 for Copperas Cove from the 37-yard line. 2 receivers, or make it 1 right, 2 left. And now there's going to be a timeout called as the play clock was down to 0.
Even the crowd knew this was a big down. They were into this one.
And we got the crowd mic going. Hopefully they get that noise. You can hear it in here. Good to hear the crowd getting involved. And real quickly, Craig Brown turned around and whistled that, trying to get that timeout. As I looked up, the play clock's at 0. So Copperas Cove now that's important, Kelly. We look at that.
Yes.
You're saying run clock run. A 10-point lead with 10:06 left in the ball game. Now Copperas Cove only has 1 timeout remaining. Georgetown still has all 3 remaining. So 3rd and 5 from the 37. Opportunity here. We want to make sure we remember to give a shout out. Mrs. Peggy Griffin, mom of Coach Chuck Griffin, and grandmother of Tucker Griffin, number 4 on this Eagle football team. Thanks for listening in, Miss Griffin. We loved here. We got to meet some of the family. Melanie this week at the coaches show, and just love the family and everything. And glad you get to listen in. 3rd and 5 from the 37. Copperas Cove back in the shotgun. 21 seconds. They snap it. Richie spins out of a tackle up to the 40. He's going to be drugged down just short of the first down. He's just over the 40, short of the 41.
I think this place is fixed to get loud, gentlemen.
Keep running the football and stay in bounds, please.
Yeah.
4th and 1 for Copperas Cove in their own end. And now a big decision for Copperas Cove. And head coach Jason Hammett, he's going to go for it up tight. It's going to be a quarterback sneak. He's up ahead. He pushes forward. And Richie all the way up to the 44-yard line. He'll pick up the first down. And 1st and 10 for the Dogs at the 44.
I love it when the crowd gets into it. You know, high school football, that's the biggest help that you can give a football team is make as much noise as you can on defense. Offense should be crickets, be very quiet, but defense just disrupt that other offense.
1st and 10 for Copperas Cove at the 44-yard line. The snap back, they're going to hand it off, I believe, to Brooks Smith. He's up past the 45, about the 48, maybe the 49-yard line. Nope, that's going to be Braden Brooks Smith, number 22. He gets hidden in there behind those big offensive linemen. It'll be a gain of 5 yards up to the 49-yard line. 2nd and 5. For the Bulldogs, 2 receivers set to the left now. In the backfield, Brooks Smith offset to the left of the quarterback, Shane Ritchie. Shotgun snap back. He
Get
drops
the
it. It's on the field. Oh, and Richie falls on it to 45. A great opportunity there for the Eagle defense. I think it was number 43. It was Mr. Valenta. He fell on it, and that ball just scored it out, and Richie was right there and fell on it. But a loss of 4 yards back to the 45. 3rd and 9 now for the Bulldogs.
If that was a beef rib, big boy would have got on that. All right. We need to stop here.
All right, crowd.
3rd and 9 for the 45. The Eagles line up. 2 receivers left for the Dogs. One person in the backfield. He's going to hand it off to Craig Brown. He breaks it out to the right side, but the tackle being made. He stretches forward, but he's going to be a yard short. Is Craig Brown up to about the 47-yard line of Georgetown, and it's going to be 4th and 1. Coach Griffin about 10 or 15 yards out on the field. The referee choosing back off. He's still got his headset off and yelling at the referee. 4th and 1 for the Dogs. Snap, handoff, Craig Smith hit, stepped up, and they held him. The Eagles hold him.
I'm sorry. I'm screaming in this microphone.
What a
that was
job
awesome.
there. And give credit there to big number 5. That's going to be A.J. Bradshaw. He makes a big stick there, stops the running back Craig Brown for a loss, and now he's hobbling off to the far sideline. He comes up limping there, and it's going to be a turnover on down.
Nice.
At the 7:24 mark of the 4th quarter.
Great job by the defense of stopping that.
He's so excited he sat on the offense bench.
A.J. Bradshaw
That's
with
great.
a stick. Turnover on downs. Second time of the night for the Eagles. And now the offense takes over with 7:24 and a 10-point lead at their own 48-yard line.
Clock management now.
In the game, and the running back is Devin Ross, offset to the left of Darson Harmon. He'll get the handoff, and he'll cut it back to the left side, 50, 45, 40, 35, and he carries a couple of defenders, breaks some tackles, and keeps running. And all the way down to the 31-yard line of Copperas Cove. A great run by the senior, Devin Ross.
Clock managed that.
And now the offensive linemen turn around and like, hey, big fella, come on back to the huddle. We're doing something different here. They huddle up, and they're going to burn some clock here. 7:05 left in the ballgame. Another borrow from Morrow first down for the Eagles. Devin Ross, the senior running back, having a night for himself for the 2nd week in a row.
Not only is Miss Peggy watching tonight, Coach's mom, but his sisters are watching as well, Allison and Suzanne. Thanks for joining in, guys. We've also got one guy listening from Incheon, South Korea.
Hand off to Devin Ross on the right side. He gets up past the 30, runs over a defender up to the 25-yard line. That young man is on a mission right now. Devin Ross running hard.
You don't think a 4th down stop doesn't affect the offense too? Because this offensive line is moving people. Devin Ross is running like he is angry with some folks. That 4th down stop has got this running game going, and the Eagles can put this game away right here, run this clock, put points on the board. This is fun.
7:24.
Good times, good times.
Good time.
The Eagles took the ball over at 7:24 left in the ball game, and now have it 2nd and 3 at the 24 of Copperas Cove. Shotgun snap back to Harmon, hands it off to Ross, takes his time around the outside corner, cuts it back up to the 20-yard line. That'll be another borrow from Morrow, first down. The senior Devin Ross.
He gets a spell.
Here he goes. He gets a rest here as sophomore Andrew Petter comes into the ballgame. Great job, young man. You deserve a rest. Devin Ross, the senior running back, comes off. He even gets a fist bump from Coach Griffin there. He is running hard
This
here
crowd,
in the 4th quarter.
This crowd cheering for him. These Eagles are so not used to huddling up. That huddle's pathetic.
Now we're into the Smoothie King red zone. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Darson Harmon takes the shotgun snap, hands it off to Andrew Petter, cuts it back up the middle, across the 20, carrying defenders up to about the 15-yard line. They're going to mark him down at the 16. Gain of 4 for Petter on first down. That'll bring up 2nd and 6 now at the 16-yard line.
Ross back in.
And Ross wastes no time getting back in. Hey, I don't need a bunch of rest. Just give me one play. As the senior running back in. 5 minutes left on the clock. The Eagles running it down. 2 minutes and 24 seconds so far on the drive. And they're just running the ball. Darson Harmon, the senior quarterback, handling the duties as he has Ross offset to the right. 3 receivers right, none left. Shotgun snap will come back to Harmon on the far side hash mark. He'll hand it off to Ross on the left side. No, he keeps it and pulls it. Harmon across the 15, down to the 14. Stack him up, run him down to the 13. Nice little run there. 3 yards for Harmon. That'll bring up 3rd and 3.
Ian Sanders, number 72 for Copperas Cove, hit Ross in the backfield and took him down and jumped up celebrating, but Darson kept the ball and was down the field 8 yards, 9 yards down the field, and he turned around and walked back to the defensive line of scrimmage. That was awesome.
And that tells you how good of a ball fake that was for Darson Harmon to stick it in the belly of Ross, thinking, hey, he's going to come right back to him. I got him.
Yeah.
And Harmon 3 yards down. Now 3rd and 3. Make it 3rd and 3 from the 12-yard line. 3rd and 2. Hand it off to Ross to the right side. Cuts it back in the middle. Cuts it back to left. 10,
yes,
5.
Sir.
Dives in. Georgetown Eagles touchdown.
Nice. Exactly what these guys needed to do. Lock this game up.
3 minutes and 58 seconds left in the ball game. 55-39. The Eagles lead it over Copperas Cove. Devin Ross, the man of the drive. He held the ball every time except 2. A 4-yard gain by Petter and 1 by Darson Harmon for 3 yards. The Minutemen press extra point kick attempt up. And Carson Saucedo stays perfect on the season. And now a 56-39 lead for your Georgetown Eagles. A 17-point lead with 3:58 left in the ball game.
Just what the doctor ordered for our Eagles. That 4th down stop. And look, the Eagles have given up a lot of yardage tonight. They're going to get a tough run test again next week with Liberty Hill. But in this 4th quarter, when they needed it the most, the defense stepped up, got that 4th down stop, which energized this offense, and they just forced their will on this Copperas Cove defense, push that ball down, and I think they put this game away.
You know, Copperas Cove came out with some energy and right there after the half, but just Georgetown just kind of took it back over again and said, no, I think we'll take care of this game.
Have it on the board at 55 points. I believe it should have been 56. They were up by 10 and just scored 7. Should be 17. So it should be 56-39. The scoreboard in the stadium reads 55. We've got it correct on our screen. The Eagles set to kick it off. The Georgetown Football Booster Club scoring drive recap. A 6-play, 52-yard drive that took 2 minutes and 26 seconds off the clock. Started at the 48-yard line of Copperas Cove of Georgetown. So it's, Georgetown, 52-yard drive. And all the plays were runs. Kelson King with the kickoff near sideline, floats it high. It's going to land about the 22. It backs up, and the Eagles get it. Malcolm Roberts let it hit. The Eagles recover at the 25. A mental mistake there for Copperas Cove as the ball hits, checks back up, and the Eagles get it.
That was a pitching wedge.
Number 29? That front jersey, hard to read. 29 or 28? Is that Joel Cadena?
Let's zoom in on him here.
Brendan Broad, maybe.
28.
Joel Cadena, the senior defensive lineman, 5'10", 200 pound. He's down covering kicks. And I tell you what, Kelson King dropped in a nice pitch and wedge there. And it backed up right into the hands of Joel Cadena. And the Eagles take back over. 1st and 10 at the 25 of Copperas Cove. And now you can run this clock some more.
We have a new quarterback.
Tucker Griffin in with 3:56 left here in the ball game. Griffin hands it off to number 9, Moose. He's up the middle. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Oh, down to the 2-yard line. The Moose is loose. Oh, my goodness. He broke it there. I tell you what, that is deceptive in the speed that the Moose has.
Coach Griffin is going to get grounded if they don't call grandson's number here.
It's going to be 1st and goal.
Miss Peggy's going to be mad.
We're inside the Smoothie King red zone. Score. 1st and goal for the Eagles. Tucker Griffin at the helm. First action for Griffin tonight. 3:25 left on the clock. Offset to the left of Griffin is Moose. 3 receivers right. Griffin, he'll hand it off. Nope, keep it. No, he hands it off to the Moose. He battles up the middle. The push from the line and into the end zone. It looks like it's going to go. Now they're going to blow him dead just short of the goal line. The battle of the linemen. Moose was stuck in the middle.
Yeah. With all those bodies in there, that was a guess by the referee.
Yeah, blow the whistle and don't have to worry about it.
I think.
Blow the whistle, let replay will figure it out, right?
So a 22-yard run on first down by the Moose. They had it first and goal from the 3, and now it's first and goal from about the half-yard line. The Moose on the right side of Tucker Griffin in the backfield. Shotgun snap. Griffin's going to keep it to the right side.
Yes,
touchdown! Eagles. Tucker Griffin, the junior quarterback, gets on the board. And the Eagles really don't burn much time, but they increase that lead. 62-39. The Eagles lead it over Copperas Cove with 2:34 left here in the ball game.
There you go, Miss Peggy.
Awesome.
Go Eagles.
So on second down, Tucker Griffin runs it in for a 1-yard touchdown run. Saucedo in for the Minutemen press extra point kick. And, of course, it is good. Saucedo perfect again from the extra point stance.
Coach is not the only one susceptible to getting in trouble by his mom tonight because my parents are listening too, and I haven't said a word about it yet. So, hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. James and Judy DeVoll listening from Georgetown, Texas. And she said, I'm doing good. What else is she going to say?
We'll talk to her later. 2 minutes, 34 seconds left here in the ball game.
Yeah, it's such a good deal. Big deal for the Griffin family. How awesome is that?
I tell you what, and what a job by Tucker. He came in and did a good job.
Yeah.
And you just love to see it. One, you want to get that young man reps.
Yeah.
You've got a senior quarterback that's going to run this team. End of story. Darson Harmon, a 3-year starter, doing a great job of running this team. This is the experience you want Tucker to get. And I don't care where the score is on this. He's in getting valuable snaps, and the Eagles are still playing hard. It's not about burning the clock. It's about continuing to score and learn and to get better.
Well, and part of this, too, is there are only 2 quarterbacks listed on the roster. Darson Harmon, Tucker Griffin. So,
and if you don't have him ready, if something would happen to Darson, Tucker's got to be ready to take over. Set to kick off are the Eagles. Kelson King, he's going to drop another, looks like a pitching wedge again. Fielded, now fumbled by Brooks Smith. It's loose on the field. The ball still laying there. It looks like the Eagles may have it.
No,
Let's
they got
see.
it. Copperas Cove got on it.
I'll tell you what. Tucker's
It's
Griffin's
a battle for it right at the 22. You see it, Dave?
Yeah, Tucker Griffin's going to need to take Kelson King out to Double Dave's for some pizza. Treat him to a lunch for taking care of him, let him get in there and get that touchdown.
Another cramp.
I think that may be, it looks like maybe 21.
Yeah, it is.
Chandler Gastello.
Now they fix the scoreboard.
63-39. The Eagles lead it. Copperas Cove is given possession of the ball. It will be at the 22-yard line, 1st and 10. What a great job there as the battle went. Brooks Smith, the running back, tried to field that kickoff, and it went right off his pads. Got past his hands, hits the pads, and bounces off. And the scramble was on.
Some scoring updates. Weiss is up 49-21 over Glenn. Minute 57 left in that game. Pflugerville is up 51-21 over McNeil. 7 minutes left in that football game. Number 7, Rouse is up 50-32 over the Anderson Trojans. Manor Mustangs lead Bastrop 29-7 in the 4th quarter. And my Port Neches Groves Indians are leading Beaumont United 14-10. And I'm probably the only one that cares.
I was going to say, Dave, I tried to mute the microphone before he read the Port Neches score because I knew no one really wanted to hear it, but we'll give it to him every once in a while. What's the score of the Cedar Park game?
I'll tell you when I'm ready. Vista Ridge defeated Leander 23-21. Don't reach for my mute button. Colleen defeated Hendrickson 22-17.
Is that a surprise right there? Hendrickson 0-2 to start the year?
A little bit. Cedar Park finally pulled away from Cedar Ridge and won 29-7.
Still, I tell you what, you think of that. They got beat 42-7 by a good Vandergrift team, but only a 29-7 win over Vista Ridge, or Cedar Ridge. It's a new program, really, a new coaching staff, a new at the helm there at Cedar Park.
And they lost a bunch.
And a new quarterback.
Yeah,
and
they lost
a lot of changes for that Cedar Park Timberwolf team.
A final in the Eastview game. Harker Heights defeats Eastview 62-7.
Wow. I hate to hear that for Eastview.
Yeah.
For the Patriots.
Second team in?
Yep.
Doppler Dave, something. Some little birdie just mentioned that your sister's listening in
Oh, sure.
from
sure.
East Texas.
Yep. I'll see her tomorrow. We're going to go over there and get ready for hunting season.
Woo woo! Dove season, full effect.
Well, deer season, and
Oh,
we're going to go.
it's a beautiful time of the year.
Yep. She's either in Woodville or Chester, somewhere out there in deep East Texas.
Kendall Craig asked what year number 4 is. That would be the coach's son. He is a junior, 5'11", 185-pound junior.
Fumbled snap by the quarterback, Richie. Picks it up, fires out to the left side. Incomplete. Trying to hit Kaliopoa Lynn on the pass. But like you said, those timing plays totally thrown off when the snap gets fumbled. And Richie did a good job of picking it back up. That's about the third time Richie's had a fumbled snap, other than the one that shot over his head, that he's at least done something to not lose yards on it. And right there, he gets the pass out, but just outside the reach of the receiver.
He's a good athlete and doesn't panic. Obviously, he's a senior quarterback and does a good job of managing this Copperas Cove offense.
Now the passing game, full effect for the Cove Bulldogs. Richie throws on the run, hits his receiver about the 35-yard line. See where they whistle him down, right at the 35. It's into the hands of number 80, Tristan Glass, the freshman wide receiver. And that pass all the way up from the 22 to the 35, a 13-yard gain on second down. That's a first down and 10 now.
So number 55, Michael, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Uini, something like that, U-I-N-I, sophomore.
On that wide receiver, Glass.
Gigantic
Sophomore. And that wide receiver with big height there, number 80, is just a freshman.
Yeah.
High snap. Quarterback Richie pulls it down, scrambles up the middle, and ends up 9 yards on that scramble there. So it'll be 2nd and 1. He's having all kinds of fits in the backfield trying to get that snap under control.
I haven't really been paying attention to it, so I want to watch and see if that's because of the center or if he's taking his eyes off the ball a little early. But he's leaving the game, so
the quarterback, Shane Ritchie, replaced by the junior. Looks like Blaine Butler back in.
You know, they probably don't want to get him hurt at this point.
Yeah, and he took a pretty good hit at the end of that run. So
And he took one on the fumbled snap back earlier when he tried to roll out and get rid of that ball. Snap over the head of Butler into the backfield. Roberts picks it up and falls on it.
That's the center.
All the way back to the 28-yard line. So a loss there of 16. So instead of 3rd and 1, it's going to be 3rd and 17 for the Bulldogs.
50 seconds left. Clock's running. Dairy Queen's calling.
Blizzard time.
It's blizzard time in Texas on high school football Friday.
Is Emily listening?
I hope so.
Emily, if you're listening, hi. We miss you.
The daughter of our own Doppler Dave England here.
Goat Hobbler. There's a story.
I'll wait for it until later.
No.
Snap back over the head. Malcolm Roberts traces it down at the 15, gets out to the 20, 25, around the end, up almost to the 30-yard line, up to the 29. Roberts, he was like, I'm done following on the ball. I'm running with this one.
He got belted.
That was a wildcat a little bit.
Still down.
A makeshift wildcat on the bad snap.
Sure.
Who are you showing that too deep? Who the center is? All kinds of fit there. I'm not sure if it's Andrew Parker or Riley Johnson, but the quarterback center exchange not going well the last 4 or 5 plays in a row.
Yeah.
We're down to 22 seconds now, and it's going to be 4th and 16 from the 29. And they're going to punt it away. They don't want to take any more chances. Just punt it away. No one even deep for the Eagles. And now a timeout whistled on the far side of the field by Copperas Cove.
Look how white those jerseys are. These guys have not played tonight.
I tell you what.
I love it.
This is a beautiful, beautiful field here at Copperas Cove. I love what they've done here in the stadium. One thing about Copperas Cove, if you come to the high school to go to the football game, you won't be there. The stadium is not near the high school. I think it's near the old high school. But, man, this is just a beautiful facility for the Copperas Cove Bulldogs. Beautiful turf job here. Beautiful mascot Bulldog there in the middle of the field. So, I'll tell you what, a very athletic team.
Yeah.
This score is not reminiscent of the true athletic running game that this Copperas Cove Bulldog team has. It's going to be interesting to see this week as we go throughout the week. I'm going to head to the Booster Club meeting on Monday and see just how many rushing yards were given up.
We'll have to ask if they're going to have one on Labor Day.
I believe they are. They talked about it the other day. We'll get Reg McConnell before we leave. He's sitting down in front of you about 6 rows, and we'll catch him and make sure. The punt now for Copperas Cove, 4th and 16 with 22 seconds left. They'll get the punt away. No one even deep for the Eagles. Bounces at the 37. How does this kicker get away with this?
I don't know.
That ball hits at the 37 and rolls all the way back to the 26-yard line.
I want to try to scoop up some of these numbers of these kids that were on the field. Number 17, Bo Weinhold, was out there.
Hey, there's a lot of excitement about number 54 coming on the play right now. Everybody's
Diego Valdez.
Patting him on the back.
Trying to call some of those numbers for some of these kids that haven't been on the field a whole lot. Proud parents out there.
The Eagles take over, 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line. And Tucker Griffin, Darson Harmon back in at quarterback. He's going to take one snap and take a knee.
The victory formation.
As Andrew Petter about 20 yards deep. Harmon takes the snap, kneels it down, and that's going to run the clock out. And that's going to be the ball game.
Nice
Your
job.
Eagles victorious on the
54.
road.
Look at 54. He's excited. Look at that. That's awesome.
Great time for these guys. This is exactly what they needed. Got some stuff to work on defense, but, hey, you get out of here with the dub.
Yeah.
And you love watching what your offense did in response. Let's take a quick timeout. We'll come back, wrap it up, and get out of here. You're listening to a victorious Georgetown Eagle broadcast here on SHN Sports. The Georgetown Eagles win it over Copperas Cove 63-39. Back in just a couple of minutes to wrap things up here on SHN. Welcome back to SHN Sports production of Georgetown Eagle football. Tonight, the Georgetown Eagles victorious over the Copperas Cove Bulldawgs, 63-39. The stat of the night in my head, I hate to see that right there. First off, I'm going to stop with the stats. I hate to see the senior running back, Braden Brooks Smith, number 22, as he limps towards the team huddle at the end by their band. Hate to see any young athlete hurt, but he's even trying to get help as he hobbles down there. So I hope that young man is not hurt too bad. And so we wish the best to him.
Great athlete.
I tell you what, the three-pronged running attack you saw tonight from the Copperas Cove Bulldawgs was impressive. Number 5, Malcolm Roberts. Number 22, Braden Brooks Smith. And mostly impressive, especially in the first half, running all over the place, the junior running back, number 32, Craig Brown. The stat of the night for me, guys, second quarter, fourth quarter, shutouts for the Eagle defense.
Great job of the defense making some adjustments, and Copperas Cove put some yards up, and the coaches are going to address that. They're going to have a tough opponent next week running the football with Liberty Hill Panthers coming to Georgetown. But this week, we get to celebrate.
You know, road victory against another 6A opponent is pretty exciting. They've already taken the score off, but that's awesome. To come in here on the road after a loss, come in here to get the W, you know, against a really good, you know, good running attack with Copperas Cove. That's good confidence booster for your Eagles.
Yeah.
63 points put up tonight, guys. More impressive to me. My second stat of the night. 7 different Eagles scored tonight.
That's awesome.
Number 25, Marquise Dominguez, the touchdown. Number 22, Andrew Petter with a touchdown. Number 4, Tucker Griffin with a 1-yard touchdown run there in the fourth quarter. Number 8, Darson Harmon with a touchdown. Number 6, Drayden Dickman with a couple of touchdowns. Number 32, Devin Ross with a touchdown. And number 9, the Moose with a touchdown. You love to see that kind of production by your offense. Okay, we gave up a lot of yards rushing.
Yeah.
Okay, they ran the ball. They're a great running team. Coach went over that. We've got to stop the run. We've got to stop the run. We've got to This offense responded to that defense battling hard.
Right.
Yeah.
The defense stepped up. Second quarter, fourth quarter, you don't give up a point. Your offense said, we'll make up for that and
We got
score
you.
some points.
Yeah, we got
And the runs you saw tonight, the Moose cracking it up the middle, that deceptive speed from that young man, that was impressive.
Yeah.
What do you say about Drayden Dickman? Thank God he's a junior. That's what I say.
Yeah.
You look at that, and that's the scary thing. I think if you talk about it, you talk about youth on this team, you have a sophomore and 2 junior weapons that are coming back, and then a junior quarterback, Tucker Griffin, that's going to be poised to take over, and hopefully poised and ready to take over if something were to happen to Darson as a senior. But you have Marquise Dominguez as a junior. You have Drayden Dickman as a junior. You have a sophomore and Andrew Petter that is like a Tecmo Bowl joystick wonderman when he gets that ball and he stops and starts and moves sideways. That's 3 weapons that excites me here in week number 2 about next year.
Yeah, young weapons, and it's you want to get run over by a truck, a car, or a bus.
Or a moose.
Yeah.
Or a
Or
moose.
a moose.
We got a moose to get to boot.
It's exciting. And, we've talked about it time and time again, and you can probably take some solace in that we're going to talk about it all year. This is a young, inexperienced football team. And, even the seniors that are playing this year, very few of them were on the field as starters last year. So as that experience builds, this gets better. And the defense will get better. You've got young guys on the edges. You've got young guys in the defensive backfield. It's going to get better. And that's why they have scheduled 2 6A teams, a 5A team that's a constant, makes deep runs into the playoffs to get ready for the juggernaut of a district that they're in. So, Coach Griffin, when we weren't recording, he said, this district's up for grabs this year. And so these 3 games are getting these kids ready for that district gauntlet. If you go 0-3, you still have a tremendous shot at the playoffs, but we're not going 0-3. Mm-hmm. Next week is going to tell a different tale, and then Cedar Park visits for our first district game in 2 weeks. So it's seeing this much improvement this quickly with this group of inexperienced players is really encouraging. Is there some stuff to work on? 100%. But it's encouraging.
One thing I think I take from it as well is how did you respond to week 1? The tough loss to Belton at home, 35-31.
Yep.
You responded well. The offense came back firing away. The defense, they battled. I tell you what, okay, so the first quarter wasn't pretty. Neither was the third quarter. You had a three-headed attack on the other side of the ball with Brooks Smith, with Roberts, and with Brown.
Right.
Those 3 boys ran the ball well, and they're good running. No wonder Coach said it's a better running team than we saw last week.
Right.
They run the ball. But the defense answered that call. You like to see that with the youth.
Yeah.
A couple of people I thought was awesome. We kept calling the name of Michael Valenta.
Yeah.
You kept seeing him around the game. The only person I saw and the only concern I have is at one point I saw number 3, Bryson Hanks, come out limping to the sideline and have a seat. I didn't pay attention after that if he went back in or not. But it looks like really injury-wise, we didn't take any big hits.
Right.
And you
healthy.
spread the ball around. That offense, your quarterback throws an interception. Great read on defense. You got to give it to the linebacker, number 8, Jacoby Frazier. Read that play to Hawkins. He read the quarterback the entire way.
Yeah.
And if he was wrong, so what? Yeah. But he took a chance and he did it. You come back and throw a 50-yard touchdown bomb in your very next play.
Right.
Your quarterback is, hey, Coach, I got this one.
Week when Liberty Hill looks at the scoreboard for tonight, which they will, just like we'll look at Liberty Hill's scores for tonight and see what they've done. They have to plan to try to outscore Georgetown and beat Georgetown in a shootout with a heavy, heavy, heavy run game. Their defense is going to have to bring it against an offense that can put 70 points on the board.
Absolutely.
So It's going to be interesting next week. I'm excited. We were supposed to play Liberty Hill last year. It got COVID canceled. We get them at our house this year. Liberty Hill is very well known in the state. They are a constant force in high school in 5A Division II, and I am really looking forward to next week's ball game.
And kind of like Coach said, they're eventually going to be in our district.
Right.
Why not play them now and get ready for them?
Yeah.
And get a look at them when it's not killing us.
Just, again, hats off to this coaching staff. A lot of wisdom there, a lot of experience, playoff experience, and just years of coaching and mentoring these young student athletes. So it's good stuff.
So what's your takeaway this week, Dave?
Oh, just a great road victory, bounce back. You come that up. The coaches must have said something to them, said, all right, fellas, let's clean it up, make sure we're clean game. And then the offense kept bouncing back and having just highlight reel after highlight reel, which is so much fun for our fans back home watching the game to see that kind of stuff, and even better in person. So the folks that came out here, they had a treat. You know, what a good road victory. Quality 6A opponent. They're no joke. But building confidence and the young men are learning, and that's the best thing that you can ask for.
Kelly, your takeaway this week?
I'm excited. After last week, we saw some points put on the board against a little bit better defense, points that probably could have won you the game. I think the load is going to come on the defense, and that's where the majority of the work has to happen. But I've got confidence in the defensive coaches to get that ball rolling in the right direction, get tightened up a little more for next week. And, man, it's fun. There's only one time I don't like Texas high school football. And, no, wait, there's no time I don't like Texas.
I was like, where's he going with this? This dude's lost his mind.
I love Texas high school football.
Thanks for pulling that one out.
I love Georgetown Eagle football, and I love being in the booth and working with you guys on this. I do want to say this before we go. We've got soldiers who are in harm's way out there, men and women serving our nation in our military. We thank you for your service. For the family members of those people who are serving our nation, thank you for giving us your young men and your young women to keep our freedoms here. And for our friends in public safety world, our police, fire, and EMS friends, all three of us are from that world, 2 retired cops and 1 active firefighter. And
if you have an opportunity after the Liberty Hill game on Saturday is 9/11. It's the 20th anniversary. There's a lot of memorials that are happening around Central Texas. Find one, attend it. It's a big deal.
Yeah. They doing the stair climb?
I believe so.
Yeah.
And that weekend, I'm going to be up in Waxahachie after the game, playing in a Keepers of the Peace national softball tournament with a police softball team. And we're doing that. We've got a special jersey that was made in honor of all that, and paying homage to a young man that passed away here recently with a disease, and that's close to the team. But then a red, white, and blue jersey that we're wearing that weekend, saving for Saturday for 9/11 to present. And so all about that, and we enjoy that. I tell you what, a takeaway here tonight, before we even get to finishing with that, this offense is going to score a lot of points.
Yeah.
The one thing I love that Coach Griffin did, I think tonight showed a lot, and give it to the offensive coaches. Coach Griffin, that's just the name easiest to say, right? He's the head coach, and a win comes on his shoulders, and a pat on his back, and a loss comes at his hands around his neck. What are you doing with this program? He spread that ball out so well tonight. Drayden Dickman, I think you can go and say player of the game, 2 big touchdown receptions, a big catch to extend that drive, the 71-yard kickoff return down to the 4-yard line. Played very well.
Yeah.
Then you surprise. I was sitting here in my mind thinking, okay, surprise player of the game. Yeah. Well, Moose, okay, yeah. Dominguez, yeah, okay. Well, man, I can name 3 or 4. Yeah. That offense was so fun to watch tonight. Yeah. They spread the ball out. They didn't pick on one person. They ran it a 3-headed attack at the tailback. I think the Moose. And I'm sorry, and I hope his family is not upset with me. I heard him called Moose at practice, so I put it on my sheet as Kalen Moose, David Moose. Yeah. I'm calling him the Moose. That cat is fun to watch, and I think he earned himself some reps tonight, and a chance to spell Devin Ross, Andrew Petter. Man, that just makes this offense that much more widespread.
I'm minutes and we're still talking.
I know.
Last week after the L, we're like, well, it was a good game. Tried hard. We lost.
Tough loss. See you all later.
Yeah, good night. But they're about to turn the lights off on it.
Both 32s are taking a picture.
That's
down there,
awesome.
so
Oh, that's
That's
All right.
fantastic.
Devin Ross. But guys, I more than anything, I'm
Yeah, show them that, Dave.
I'm excited about next Friday night, the game against Liberty Hill at home in Georgetown. But more importantly, the fact that we get to pay respects to the memorial 20-year anniversary of the attack on the United States, but then of the Twin Towers, the horrific events that happened 20 years ago on September the 11th. I've got some friends up in FDNY and NYPD that we went and visited a few years back, and so I'll be reaching out to them this week as we remember all the sacrifices each and one of them make, and through health problems through that whole ordeal continue to pay the price. Thanks for joining us tonight, man. Georgetown Eagle football live here on SHN Sports. We have a blast each and every time. Wednesday night, we will have the Coaches Show. Look for the link to pop up. We'll tweet it out, put it up on Facebook. But we'll be there Monday night at the Booster Club. I'll be interesting to hear what Coach's thoughts are on this game. And then Wednesday night with the Coaches Show, and back Friday night from Birkelbach Field. I'm going to learn that one.
Birkelbach Field at the GISD Athletic Complex.
We will host the Liberty Hill Panthers from just down. Is this going to be the battle of Highway 29?
29, yeah.
I'm thinking. We're going to enjoy it, though. You guys enjoy your holiday weekend. Please be safe on the road, as there will be many people traveling. I've got kids down at the Port A for the weekend, kids in town to enjoy the holiday. Be careful out there, and just remember, it's always free to be kind to somebody else. Have a good weekend, guys.
Good night, folks.